What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Beeline Coffee. The new Roasted Tire 3.0 is now in stores just in time for the holidays. 1.0 had my old Fox body on it. 2.0 had the Safari 911, talking about on the bag, and Roasted Tire 3.0's got the Countach on it. That's how you know you're getting the 3.0. It is delicious. Literally the best coffee I've ever tasted in my life. It's a medium roast. It's a medium body. It's got a lot of caffeine in it, so it's great for the morning, but tons and tons of flavor. As always, good coffee comes in whole beans. So get yourself a grinder, get some Beeline Coffee, use code TST for 15% off anything in the Beeline Coffee store, whether you're talking about 1 pound, 10 pounds, or a Coffee of the Month plan, which you can get at Beeline Coffee. Just hit up BeelineCoffee.com, use code TST, get yourself 15% off from your friends at The Smoking Tire. We are also brought to you by our new store at BlipShift. We have an exclusive merch collaboration with BlipShift going on from now on. We're going to have new shirts every single month for you guys. And if you've ever ordered a shirt from BlipShift, you know how it goes. The sales last for 2 weeks, and then they are gone forever. So from now until December 23rd, we've got the Safari 911 Dashing Through the Snow shirt. It features my Safari 911 several feet in the air over a beautiful snow-covered forest. It's just delightful. You can get it in all different styles and sizes at blipshift.com/TST, or go to thesmokingtire.com and click on the store tab. That will take you straight there. And that's from now until December 23rd, and then that sale ends, and we have new shirts after that. This is how it's going to go with our shirts. We're going to keep them going all the time. People email me all the time. They go, I missed the super chat. You guys don't do a Patreon, but how do I, donate to the show? Buy a shirt. If you don't like the design, buy a shirt for your friend. That's how we do it here at The Smoking Tire. blipshift.com/TST or thesmokingtire.com, and then click on the store tab. All right, on this episode, back in studio after, I think it's been about a year since Mike Musto has been in studio. One of our favorite people in the world, the host and producer of the House of Muscle, formerly of the Drive Network with us. Musto is one of my oldest friends in the car business. I made friends with him about 2 years before I ever made my first car video. He is a kindred spirit and a kind soul. Mike Musto of the House of Muscle on this episode of the Smoking Tire Podcast.
No one cares? We'll fucking make them care, because it's the Smoking Tire Podcast. Hey, everybody. What's up? It's a Tuesday, and that means we're fucking back at work. We haven't recorded a show since the Thursday, it's been almost 2 weeks, I think, since we actually recorded a show. Right? It's been over a week.
When was Cody Miles? That was the most recent, I think.
No, Blake Hutchinson.
Oh, that's right.
But that was before Radwood.
So that's 3 weeks ago.
That was 2 weeks, right?
Wow.
I don't know where the fuck I've been.
That's how that cream goes bad.
Where have I been? Why didn't I record a show? Shit. Oh, man. Anyway, here we is. Mike Musto. What's up, brother? Santa?
Brother.
How'd you doing?
Doing good.
I like bearded Mike Musto. Did you know when you started that beard that that you'd have a mustache within the beard?
No, I had no idea.
You look like Dimebag Darrell's grandpa.
Yeah. I honestly got lucky.
Move that mic to the right place. We stopped. It wasn't close enough.
How's that?
I mean, it's good, but if you're going to be talking to me, it's away from your mouth.
All right,
so move it back to in front of your mouth.
All right, I'll put it right there.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's I didn't know it was going to come in with racing
with
stripes.
The stripes.
It was just, and everybody asked me. Everybody just looks at me and they're like, "You did that?" I go, "No. This is the way it came in."
You're straight brushing just for men into your beard.
Yeah, and dude, the funny
does
part
look
is,
suspicious.
It does.
It looks
but
suspicious.
mine is so fucking uneven and splotchy. I shaved this morning, and my gray is a fucking splotchy disaster. Yours is symmetrical.
I got lucky. Genetics. I just got lucky.
It's very strange.
But the cool part, or not, I don't know if it's cool or not, but I get beard companies trying to send me shit. They're
That's
like,
cool.
You should use this in your face, and I'm like,
What are the things they send you?
like
Beard balm.
and
Beard
like
wax.
beard wax. And
Do you say,
beard
yes, I will use
gel
this
and-
once for $2,000?
Yeah, I mean,
That's how that works.
some of the stuff is
Beard
okay.
balls. Drag the balls across your beard. Softens
I
the
don't
flavor.
Bro,
I
I'm
wanna do
sponsored
that.
by multiple razor companies.
Are you?
I was sponsored by Harry's Razors for like over a year.
Really?
And now I'm sponsored by the Brio Beardscape, which is a fucking dope buzzer.
Well, I think I should get some beard stuff.
You
Guys,
should.
contact me at Mike Musto at Instagram.
Are you not part of the Menfluential ad network?
Nah, dude.
Don't roll your eyes at me. You want to see my fucking receipts?
Oh no, dude! I'm not rolling eyes. It's just I've never been that guy. I'm just people.
You don't like hawking shit?
No, I don't mind hawking shit if it works. if it's
what?
good,
I guess-
100%.
Well, they send me stuff to
Right.
test. They send me the product.
Yeah.
I play with it. I use it.
Right.
And then I write them back and I go, yeah, let's do this or it's not. I don't like not everything I sell is something I would like it's not something that I would always use in my life.
Right.
But it's like I would only advertise something if it does the thing they say it does, and if I think somebody would find a good use
Right.
for it.
Well, let's put it this way: if I could find a product that would flatten this out a little bit,
The Brio Beardscape probably would.
I would be into that. So if
It's
anybody's
a
listening,
good fucking trimmer.
call me.
I like the Brio Beardscape. Yo, if you guys want to ask us some car shit, get in the super chat if you're with us live on the Tuesday afternoon. It seems like seems like we had a fucking dam build up while people were waiting
Jesus
because
Christ.
there's been a flood of super chat questions in the first
Well,
few
that's
minutes.
good.
That's good. Yeah, it's
it's all right.
When
It
I
looks
saw
like
the
a flood.
when I saw the color chart, it looked like more than it
Yeah,
really was.
it's-
That's okay. We'll get there.
Yeah,
Anyway, should we start by backing it up? Fucking 11 days to Radwood.
yeah, absolutely.
Man, you drove the 928 down.
Yep.
That's your rad vehicle.
Yep.
I went heavy with Countach.
Yeah, you went real
I
heavy.
thought I was going heavy with Countach, and then two other Countaches
but
rolled
this
up.
is Los Angeles. This is the only place on the planet where you're just like, I'm going to go to a car show and have the only one there, and then
Nope.
6 others show up. I mean,
You had to be the guy in the Vector to do that shit.
or the EB was it EB 110?
The EB110
that showed up also, and you're just like,
what would you rather have? An EB? I'd rather have that
Countach.
EB1, the Countach.
Oh, hands
yeah,
down, dude.
As far as a car to own, yeah, the Countach.
Countach.
Yeah.
As far as a car, period, the Countach.
Yeah.
I
The
agree.
Countach, like,
The Vector
there's 3
is
or 4
weird.
places in LA you can get a Countach fixed.
Yeah,
There's
I mean,
there's
no place
nowhere to get
ever.
an EB110 worked on.
No, and I mean,
That,
the
you talk to that
Countach-
guy?
No,
The EB110
I'll
guy?
be honest with you, I don't give a shit about the EB110.
The major service. You know what the
It's
only
impo- I think it's an important car, but it's
It
not
is, but
great
it's not.
looking.
It's not my.
it's not great
thing,
looking.
no.
No. But did you look at the engine though?
I did.
Because it has 12 linked
Yes.
throttle bodies,
Yes. It's
and
impressive.
that rules.
Yes, it's everything about the car is impressive.
Yeah.
but I wouldn't ever want.
No, I don't want one.
No, you
No.
have the car that. I mean, the fact when I was a kid, every kid that grew up in the 1980s had a Countach on their wall. That and a Testarossa.
Do you
I had no car posters on the wall as a kid.
the guy who
Just to
had the
throw a wrench in
EB110
there.
said the major service is 30
Okay,
on that thing.
I could see
But-
that.
But
you
what's
know-
the car worth?
An EB110? Low end 350, high end $1 million.
Okay,
The EB110 SSs are
Up there?
Yeah,
Okay.
this was not an SS. This was you can pull that picture over. This was a standard.
Like it's good, but it doesn't do anything for me emotionally.
Well, you have to explain to fucking people what it is.
Yeah, I don't wanna do that.
You don't want to spend 500
No.
G's on a car you have to then explain to someone
all.
what
If
it
the
is.
Veyron hadn't been as fast as it was and gotten as much notoriety, you'd have to explain that too, because it's just
Yeah.
like it's
It's a
like an
turtle.
egg. Yeah, it's a turtle. It's an egg. It's
No,
not
beetle.
like
It looks like a beetle.
sexy looking. You know,
Right.
the Countach
Not like
is
a
like
Volkswagen Beetle. It looks like an actual
Beetle.
Beetle. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you want to hear? Did you see my Instagram this morning? Fun Countach story.
Oh, with
Thaddeus.
Cindy?
So Thaddeus texts me from
say Cindy
fucking
like I know
Dubai, and he goes, "Dude, I wanna take your car and I want to remake these photos I found." And I pull up the pictures that Thaddeus sends me, and I go, "Bro, I think that's my car." And he goes, No, what do you mean? And I go, No, that's my
Is it
car.
real? How'd you find out that it was yours?
I texted Dave Houston. That's my car. That's
Really?
Cindy Crawford and my car.
Standing on your wing.
Yeah.
well, she's
And
yeah.
if you go to the other picture, the next one of it, You can tell, like, it's got the same.
She's on the wrong side to put gas in it.
Yes, she is, Mike Musto. Very good. She is.
Yeah.
She is not filling up on the correct
she's
side
actually
of the
just
car.
pouring gas into the.
No, but before I even texted Dave Houston, I found the TMZ behind the scene spy shots
Right.
of them doing this photo shoot.
Oh, no shit.
And guess what? License plate matches. It's my fucking car.
That's dude. That's pretty cool.
That's
That's
amazing.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So does Dad want to get Cindy Crawford again?
He was like, we should redo this. I go, I think it's been done. I don't think we need to do it. We don't need to redo shit.
No,
it's already.
You got it. You already got it.
I think that is the Countach equivalent of having like a Porsche that raced at Le Mans.
Yeah, because you're not
That's
going
like
to get any better than Cindy
hashtag
Crawford.
provenance.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was not the original. That's not the original shoot. That was a throwback, because if you look at Cindy Crawford, she's like 50 in this.
Okay, which is fine.
They redid. There was the commercial in '92, was
Right.
the original, and then this was from like 3 years ago when they did like a throwback to it.
Oh no shit! So those
Wait,
that's
so is your-
relatively new photos.
Well, that's
then.
why this was your car, because Dave had the car.
Yeah.
Whose car was in the original?
I don't know. Not my car.
Do you know how many owners have had that car?
I'm the third.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Dave's had it for over 10 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, Radwood. Back to Radwood.
Amazing.
Some fucking awesome stuff there.
Radwood is my favorite car event now.
Oh wait, is that the second one? That's the original, right? No, that's not the original.
No, that picture's too new.
That picture's too new, right?
Yeah.
And then oh, by the way, see that's the car. Look at the top. You see James Corden fucking
this is
spoofing
great.
it? Guess what? Also my car.
Really?
Yep. Dave really hoarded this thing around.
Yeah, he
fucking
did.
town.
Amazing.
You know what? Good for you.
But look,
It's
you
in a
can- you
Puffy
can really-
video.
Good
you can
for
really
you.
see that the gas nozzle is in the air intake right now.
Yeah.
That's funny.
yeah, that's
Well,
how to blow
in
up.
fairness, the gas nozzle is in the air
just
intake
on the
on
other
the other
side.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Radwood.
Radwood is my new favorite show.
It's the best car show
Yeah.
Bar
in the
none.
world.
They just edited out all the things
all the
I
garbage.
don't want to be.
That's exactly right. Like, take your pile of crap here, take this pile of crap, and give me
I
all
don't
the
need.
wonderfulness.
I don't want to see any more Billet. I
No.
don't want to see any more Bel Airs. I've seen all the '69 Camaros in the world. That shit can stay home.
That's right.
You can have your Buddy Holly music in your lawn chairs.
Yeah. It's
It
over.
was,
It's over
dude.
now.
Like, and especially like I don't know. Like I really liked seeing stuff that like was normal but just didn't exist anymore.
Well, I'm a
Like the
sucker for
Bonneville?
anything. Yes. I'm a
Like-
sucker for anything clean.
yeah.
Like anything that's well maintained and old, I'm like, I should probably buy that.
Yeah.
Right? And which is a problem.
Amish ladies, look out! Musto's on the hunt for
Oh,
anything
dude,
clean.
it's bad.
Like this is,
Well, like a Subaru, is that a
That's
Daihatsu,
a Daihatsu
Charade?
Charade. What a terrible car that
that
was.
was- yeah, that was
That's
bad.
just a terrible car.
Although,
It's the cleanest one I've seen in forever.
there's that.
But what's funny about Radwood is you can bring that there, and people will appreciate its existence to make fun of it.
Right.
And it's like that's the best thing about that car show is it's a good time. There's
Right.
there's a sense of humor about it that
Yeah.
does not exist in any other car show that
Not
I
at
can
all.
think of.
And the
Oh,
people,
dude, the guy with the Chrysler New Yorker with the vinyl roof who was like, my time has come.
Dude, and he was owning that. I mean, this is the other part. People are so excited about Radwood. They get into it. They dress for it. They're bringing their kids to it.
Yeah.
Because everybody who's my age, I grew up with Radwood, not even knowing about Radwood.
Yeah.
Right.
You grew up with it before it was done ironically. It was
Absolutely.
done straight faced.
That's right. Like, Dodge Stealths. Everybody's oh.
Well,
you know,
there was
stuff
some,
like that. You're just like,
some
really?
real 90s Chrysler. How about the fucking, what's his name? Rudy?
Did he bring the?
The dude with the Daytona.
Oh yeah.
Was that his name, Rudy?
Rudy.
I think it was.
Yeah,
right?
with the mullet.
Yeah. Chubby Axl Rose.
Yeah, with the.
he was Axl Rose circa '98.
Well, yeah, maybe even a little later.
I drove his other car.
Okay.
He had a T-Bird.
Right,
Like
you
an
were telling me about that.
87 T-Bird
Yep.
with like a hopped up 5-liter and an independent suspension
Right.
swap and a bunch of cool shit in
Yeah.
it. and it drove awesome. And then he's got this Dodge Shelby Daytona.
Yeah, it's like an 89 or something like that. And he put a 6.1 Hemi in it with a 5-speed manual, converted to. I gave him my card. I'm like, I'm filming that for House of Muscle because that's pretty amazing.
There's a picture of it on my Instagram, Zach.
But the install is.
It was so clean.
So clean.
Yeah, it was so. The guy's T-Bird was really clean too, actually.
But there's stuff at Radwood whereby it's
in go up, Zach. It's buried in the picture of me and James Chen on the right. It's buried in that slideshow. Yeah. There were two. There it was. Go back. There's two Mosler Consiglières.
Yeah, that's an oddball thing.
Yeah. So for those of you who never, Warren Mosler, he liked to race cars.
Yeah.
He was a real weirdo. He built really weird stuff, and the Consigliere was his first car. I think it was for IMSA GTP.
That's right. Yeah.
GTU or GTP?
GTP.
GTP, right?
Yeah.
And it was basically a homologation road car for racing that everyone, I think they're hideous.
It's awful looking,
it's
dude.
So terrible.
It looks like a kit car, like a bad kit car.
Yeah, which is pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
But everyone said it was too fast and got banned from racing.
I just think it was probably a pile of crap and got banned from racing.
The defenders of it say that it got banned. So there it is on the two on the left. They are really ugly.
And I always
got
feel bad
looking,
saying like that's awful because like I've never built a car like that, so I shouldn't comment. But it is kind of ugly.
I mean, it like if you were building a race car, like that looks like what a Daytona prototype looked like.
Yes, it
up
does.
until about 2 years
That's
ago.
true.
Yeah.
Daytona prototypes were very fast and heinously ugly.
Yeah.
The only reason that most of those got better looking is because of headlight covers, and this doesn't have. This has like Mustang SVO headlights where they're recessed and they don't look good.
You know, both of these cars had swapped steering wheels. They both had like Momo Prototipo or whatever steering wheels. These cars originally came with Dodge Caravan minivan steering wheels.
What?
Because they had to be sold with airbags. So they had the first
and that's
gen
the best. Well, didn't they have GLHS motors?
they're the turbo Chrysler motors.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the ECUs and all this stuff
All
on
the
that
same
was
stuff.
basic turbo Chrysler 4-cylinder
Well,
shit.
they didn't weigh anything. They didn't weigh like 2,100 pounds.
Yeah,
or
they're
2,200
fast.
pounds.
They're
So
supposed to be really fast.
Yeah, they scoot
I think
along.
And they did, to credit where it's due, it had a NACA ducted rear mounted radiator.
Okay.
The radiator was mounted basically in the spoiler.
That's interesting. I didn't know.
I hope the audience can't hear the construction work that's going on next door that I just fucking heard. Hear that?
That's the fridge.
Yeah, that's the fridge.
The fridge?
That's the fridge, dude. Now it's
Fucking shitbox? No, that's not the fridge. Dude.
That's the fridge.
outside. Really?
Yeah, because as soon as you hit it, it stopped.
There you go.
I think that was a coincidence.
Mike's a wrench. Mike's a wrench.
Hit it again.
Hit it harder. Hit it harder.
Use a bigger hammer.
All of a sudden, the Beach Boys start playing. Whoa, hey, Fonzie.
Oh, there you go. Zach's got the specs. God, when you really zoom out and look at the whole car,
It's awful.
It looks
It's worse.
even worse.
It looks like a train. It looks like it would be in Thomas the Tank Engine, and it would be like a luggage carrier.
You know, the offset of the wheels is so wrong for that car.
You could probably really improve it with the right wheel and tire combination.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could make it into something. You make anything into
You could
something.
put this
but
in a Star Wars movie, and no one would know it had been a car before.
just take the wheels off, make it as a speeder, and people
It
are
looks
like,
like, it does. It
That's
looks
amazing.
like Princess Vespa's Mercedes from Spaceballs.
It looks like someone took an El Camino and was like, "No, I built it for Bonneville."
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet you
God, it's
could
bad.
fucking turn one into a Bonneville car. It would go fast. That's
Ooh,
the
that's not-
second gen.
Okay,
that's
so
the second
that's
gen. The red
better.
one, when
Better.
they redid the fucking the back end of it.
You know what kills me about that? I had those wheels on my 96 Dakota pickup.
Oh, I bet they look good on that.
Oh.
I bet no.
Well, no.
No?
No.
Not so much.
I had the most Guido Dakota pickup ever.
Did you ever see that movie Ride? The movie based on Franny Lou?
Cruise.
Cruise, not Ride.
Cruise.
Sorry,
Dude, you know how
Cruise.
many emails I got about that? Be like, Musto, were you a consultant
Musto,
on
you're
this?
fucking in this. Well, he was the director was in here telling me stories of all the fucking Goomba quote consultants that just hung around, and I was like, Musto knows all of those people. It was a good period piece, though.
Oh, it was great. It was good. Listen, here's the thing. Before I moved to California, I lived in Flushing. I lived a block from Francis Lewis Boulevard.
Yeah.
And I got pulled over for street racing on Francis Lewis Boulevard in the Daytona and almost got the car impounded.
Like
how old are you when that
recently?
Oh, this was well, before I moved out, so 2008.
But as an adult, not
Right.
as a kid.
Exactly.
Oh no, it was full adult. My buddy Trevor had a Z28
awesome.
Camaro, and it was the Daytona before the Daytona was the Daytona. It was a '69 Charger at the time before I did the conversion, and we were idiots. I mean, literally drag racing light to light, rap, every light. And we
The
saw
cops are like,
go,
sir, we don't do this here
dude,
anymore.
we saw, well, this is actually really funny. We saw the cops go ripping by, and we pulled into this. There was a store on one of the corners called Rainbow, and we pulled into there. Cops go ripping by in the other direction. Okay. We're like, we got away. This is fine. We literally pulled out and instantaneously were pulled over. Okay? Anyway,
when
pulled over.
when you're hiding, you have to stay hiding.
Well, get pulled over immediately. We then, we're going to impound the car. We're going to do this. They gave us summonses and whatnot. The next day, my buddy Charlie was sitting outside. Now, my neighborhood was a little, okay, there was a couple interesting characters that lived there. And my buddy Charlie had a big...
People who treat going to jail like a vaccination. They're like, oh yeah, you get that in a little while.
A little bit. So Charlie, on his car, it said, his license plate said Charlie Pancakes on it. That was the lie on
the frame?
Chevelle.
But why?
On the frame or that
in the license plate?
Why was that his nickname?
That was his license plate.
CHLPNCKS.
Charlie Pancakes, yeah. So anyway, the following day, I was talking to Charlie. I said, listen, Charlie, I said, if you're running down Francis Lou, I said, be careful. I said, I got a summons. He goes, oh, who gave you a summons? I go, I don't really know. And he goes, go get it. So, all right. I go across the street, get the summons, bring it to Charlie. He goes, all right, what? He goes, let me just look at this. I go, okay. So I went back to the house, whatever. The next day, I get a phone call. Hi, is this Mike Musto? Well, yes, it is. This is such and such from the New York State PBA. We'd like to let you know that the summons that you had, well, please don't worry about that. Please understand that it's been dismissed.
That's very funny.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Charlie Pancakes.
Click. So get out. Next day. Charlie, I got a call. Oh, yeah.
What did you owe him?
That was
though?
it. Nothing.
Isn't that how it starts? They do a favor and then they come to you one day in the middle of the night. They're like, "We need you to hold these boxes."
Yeah,
for us."
yeah.
No, never was asked to do
You
anything.
can't-
But it was
what
just.
happens when you take when they want the favor back?
Right.
Well, I don't know. I think I moved out of state before they
Remember
wanted
that
the favor
charge
back.
you had? How big was that trunk in
Yeah.
cubic meters?
Mike, there's this lady called Aunt Jemima that we need.
That was a fun. That was. I have to say, they're some of my best friends. But I mean,
Bet. That's amazing.
yeah.
But,
I mean,
yeah.
but when you get a call from the head of the PBA,
yeah, this is great.
it's dismissed. It's like, okay,
That's brilliant.
I should probably leave now.
So anyway, what else did you like at Radwood?
I mean, there was some pretty cool stuff. I like seeing the oddball stuff. There was, and I forget the designation. I was like an 85 300ZX anniversary edition that I actually really liked. It was the black with the silver.
Oh, the black-
silver with the silver car, gold, black trim, turbine wheels on it.
Wait, wasn't that Andrew Collins' car?
Wait, what is it?
The 300ZX T-top, like the square one?
Yeah.
I think that's Andrew Collins
was
from
it?
Jalopnik's car.
Oh,
yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think it was great.
Love that
I think he
car.
got that car for like $1,000.
Yeah, he got it for cheap.
Yeah.
Alana's truck, I fell in love with.
Alana's truck. Alana was on the show.
bitchin'.
Her truck is way better. Isn't that right there? Isn't that it?
No. There was if you type in 300ZX anniversary edition.
Is that the black gold? That's a
Yeah,
280.
yeah.
That's a 280.
No, it's a 300.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a 300. Absolutely.
Black gold.
Do you remember that ad?
Yes, we do.
That's
we
it right
played
there.
It on your back
Oh,
in the day.
that's like the champagne. Yeah. That's more like a Jewish racing gold. I told I used that joke to my fucking father and his friends in South Carolina last weekend. They were like pissing themselves. Jewish racing gold.
That I like that. The GTI, the world's cleanest GTI first gen that was
Oh,
there.
the real,
was the
yeah,
red
yeah,
one
yeah,
that was
yeah,
gorgeous.
yeah.
I mean, it's yes, I mean, all those things.
Multiple typhoons and
and
cyclones.
cyclones.
Yeah.
It's-
that the black Viper that you've got there, the 96. That was I met this dude. He was like an older guy, and pull that picture over, Zach. He was an older guy, and he bought it new.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's the best looking generation of Viper, I think. The GTS.
Well, the GTS is
That's a good
gorgeous.
one. Yeah.
Those
is that an ACR or GTS?
GTS.
It's a GTS. Okay.
those are cars you could still pick them up reasonably.
35 grand.
Like
maybe?
I would absolutely.
That is so much car for that much money. That is so
If you-
fast.
Even more the O2 Vipers are $39,000
Yeah.
and they're even faster than these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're into your car for what? Didn't you say like 30-ish for the 928?
yeah, with all the work I've done. To it,
Yoish.
you know,
This has.
I mean, a 928's really nice though.
I mean,
Good
it's
ni-
all
How was your
about-
drive home? Is it lovely?
that's great.
It's very nice.
It's
Drives
great.
real nice.
I mean, it's really cool when a car lives up to the expectations you had of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I never expected it to be, by
Rain
today's
cocaine?
standards. Well, yeah, it didn't have the baggie in the thing, but
Had
like
shelves for it.
it actually does. It's got under dash shelves.
A lot of
but,
shelves. Yeah.
It was great to see that it did what I always thought it would do as a kid, right? Which is just a long haul burner, 120 miles an hour, doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And just
My SL is good for that, too,
that's
actually.
exactly right.
Yeah.
It's just what they were made to do. Is it around town with a manual? No, it's not fun. But
I really enjoyed my drive home in the Countach.
of course you did. Of course
Across
you did.
fucking
but you know what?
No, it's fun.
It was great because
I don't
every single person that sees that car, you made their day.
Yeah. You know what's so weird? The other dude in the Countach, Casey, in the black one.
Yeah.
Did you see that guy?
I saw him as he was pulling out.
Did you see how tall he was?
No.
He was 6'6".
And he fit?
Yeah.
Did
he
turn
looked
himself
like
into a pretzel to
the
get in?
fucking singer from the Black Crows.
Well, you look huge in
I know.
your
I look
Countach.
I look super.
You look like
super
you're sitting
dominant.
on it rather than in it.
Yeah. And this guy was so tall and skinny. He's not in that picture. But dude, when we left, I followed him right out of the garage.
Yeah.
And like the second, like, okay, there's two Countaches next to each other at a car show. Like,
Yeah.
all right. The second we left and we pulled up to the first light in the street, I was like, like, and he looked over like, and like the people fucking drove, like a guy pulled up and I was turning left and he was turning right, and someone pulled up in between us and looked over like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what is this? I must be on video.
Like, what fucking planet am I on?
Well, that's the one car that will stop everybody dead in its tracks. And it doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter what the other guy is driving. You win.
Yeah.
You just win.
Yeah.
Right? So he could pull up in a Veyron. It's like, nobody gives a shit about that turtle.
People lose
Look at
their
that.
shit. Yeah. I was all about like those, you know what I really liked the Radwood? Those 325i M techniques.
Vinny was pointing, Russo was pointing those out.
Hot.
And he was saying that
two
they're
of them.
pretty reasonable too.
Well, one was for sale. The red one was for sale, and he wanted 25 for it, which is a lot of money for an E30.
Yeah, but
it had the special interior,
Yeah.
the factory body kit. It was really nice.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Like Zach and I were
I think I would daily an E30.
Why not?
That shitbox one
Real
we
nice.
had for the TV show
Yeah.
drove great.
I mean, why not?
Great visibility, ergonomics are good,
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
headroom. I miss that car. I would happily buy a crappy one to drive around town.
But here's the thing, and this is kind of what we were talking about that earlier as far as like used cars. There are so many amazing used cars out there that you could jump in that are fantastic. Like I wouldn't go out and spend 50 grand, 60 grand on a new car when there's so many amazing old stuff that I've always wanted.
You know what? The one downside of that, like, I completely agree with you, and like doing the fucking shameful math in my head of my Focus RS of how much money that cost me to have that to put, how much it cost me to put 12,000 miles on that car over 2 years is so depressing.
And
dollar per mile.
Did you
very
enjoy
high.
it? Like, was it? Did you enjoy the car, or were you like,
not really?
So
I
it's
mean, I
eh.
enjoyed like from time to time. I enjoyed it, like in the canyons. I enjoyed it, but I
Do you
didn't
enjoy your Mercedes more than you enjoy the RS?
on a day-to-day basis. Oh fuck yeah, yeah.
But that has seat problems too, doesn't it?
Well, this is the other problem with this car, which I was getting to, is that an old car, you are beholden to the size and shape of the person who owned it before you.
Yes.
Because the seat isn't going to be exactly like it was
That's
when
correct.
it's brand new.
The 928, kind of like your 911, it held me in place. It was very comfortable. I only drove for 20 minutes,
Yeah.
but I didn't notice any problems, and you are much bigger than me.
Porsche uses a really strong seat frame.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it doesn't provide as much opportunity for the seat to get misshapen.
Oh.
In the Mercedes, the seat is really cushy. And so
Does the foam pack in?
the foam on the left side packs in, and there's not really a lot you can do about it.
You'd have to pull it apart and get it restuffed if you wanted to. Or get
Yeah,
new
I
foam
actually
for
had that done.
Oh, you did?
And it didn't make a lot of difference. I don't know if it's the foam. I think the springs may get, like, because there's some springs in it.
Oh, yeah, old
You may
springs
have to
for
have
sure.
it completely redone. Like,
Yeah.
well,
we're talking about 30-year-old cars here.
I know, but that's the
downside.
downside.
Sure.
If there was a downside, that's it. I mean, the good news is with like an E30, you could buy a set of those 80s style Recaros,
Right.
like brand new,
Right, and throw them in.
and drive on those, and it would be okay.
Right.
And with my 911, even though the stock seats were very good, like I have these new buckets that are like fucking fiberglass. Like they're not going to change shape. You know what I mean? So, but with an old luxury car, you definitely can have that issue.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I mean, and the other part of it is there is obviously going to be maintenance involved in these things.
Yeah, but honestly, the math is not like even the Lexus, which has been a fucking disaster in maintenance. 100,000 miles has cost me like $18,000.
Yeah, see,
it's not that bad.
I don't consider. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like people are always like, "Well, how much money did you put in the 928?" I'm like, I don't know, 15, 18 grand.
Yeah.
I look at that with the purchase price, that I'm still into that car for less than a new Honda Accord. And I love it every single day. Where a Honda Accord, I'd be like, I want to shoot myself in the face.
Yeah.
Right?
And if you sell it right, you could be fucking net zero.
Exactly.
But,
which is fine.
But you do have to think of, to play devil's advocate, like if you buy a new Honda Accord for the same money that you bought your 928 and repaired it for, how long will the Accord drive without any maintenance versus how long would the 928 drive? So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's totally understandable. But
again,
the
math is closer than people think.
It is. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think on my SL the math is pretty good. Like I bought the car, I've done like $1,200 worth of service in like 2 years.
Was that just consumables?
Yes, and then I had to fix one broken thing, which was actually a lot more expensive than no, probably $2,000 total because this one broken stupid plastic thing.
Okay.
Literally the housing that holds the AC compressor was cracked.
Okay.
It's a plastic thing. It was $800.
Okay.
For like a shitty piece of plastic. But like all of that, like I paid like $16,500 for the car.
So you're in for 20 grand.
Like,
or
I'm in for 18 something, and even if I sell, I'll sell it for what 16 maybe.
Right.
You know what I mean? 17. Like, so like,
and it still drives beautifully.
Yeah. So I'll have 3 years in a car for like $3,000.
Yeah.
Like fucking awesome.
I'm in
all day.
Right.
You know what I mean? And,
Totally.
The big stuff on that car is the engine, the gearbox. That shit's all durable.
That'll run. You get a couple 100,000 miles.
It's just if you have a sensitive spine like I do, or a sensitive body.
Yeah.
To there's a big improvement in the
new
ergonomics
seats.
of a brand new seat. Not just brand new in terms of today's market, but also never sat in.
Right.
My actually good experiment in my my folks' house in South Carolina. I was down there this past weekend shooting birds, doing a little hunting, and actually my hunting guide was a professional fisherman, and he was like me, fucking sponsored up life, dude. He got a new boat every year.
Whoa.
He got his bass boat. He got every year. Fucking he showed me a picture. His boat looked like a NASCAR. Fucking livery on it, full wrap.
Really?
He got he got a sponsored truck, a sponsored trailer, and a sponsored boat, sponsored rods, dude. This guy was a heavy hitter fisherman. So shout out to fucking Redfish Tony.
Okay.
Tony Redfish. That's what they call it. Tony Redfish. He was fucking great. But in my parents' house, in their like little sitting area, they got these two big leather like loungers that they got, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. And so I sat in my dad's chair, and then I sat in my mom's chair. Same chairs, bought at the same time, sat in roughly equal amounts. They were completely different chairs.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course. Well, your mom is a tiny little.
My
woman.
mom is a small woman, and my
tiny.
dad's huge like me.
Yeah.
And the amount of damage that the body had done to that chair,
yeah, it's unrecoverable.
Yeah, and the owner of my Mercedes before this definitely was more like me and less like my mom.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
That's why when we go to orgies, Musto follows me.
So anyway, the next Radwood is Austin, I think, right?
Dude, they're doing
where's it? They're
4 countries this year.
Can you pull up the schedule?
Really cool.
Are they doing
a lot
Ohio?
of shows.
Is Ohio this weekend?
Is it this weekend?
I thought so.
No
I know
way.
it's coming up really fast.
I don't know. This show is, if you're between the ages of 25 and 50,
you have to go.
This is the show for you.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Austin is in February.
Okay.
Sonoma is in March.
Be that one?
Well, we're Los Angeles December.
I'll be at Sonoma in March. Faux show.
I guess
I'll be there.
Oh yeah, this is 2019.
This is 2019. Yeah. Oh, San
bring it
Francisco,
all
June maybe. I might go to San Francisco also.
Wow, because Sonoma and San Francisco are like
I'm bringing
same
all the cars.
neighborhood.
I need somebody to drive a car. So if you want to
come
bring,
with you. I'll come bring
I'm
you.
going to bring the BMW, the Wagoneer, and the Porsche.
Ooh,
Nice.
Trifecta.
Japan in April. Seattle,
that
Washington,
is so
July.
good.
That's gangster as fuck.
England
I think
in
Thaddeus
August.
should represent the Smoking Tire in Tokyo in April.
He should.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go with him.
You should.
April? I'm getting married. I can't go to fucking Japan in April.
No.
God, you're coming.
yeah,
You're
you gotta
fucking
go.
coming.
Yeah, no.
You can't go to Japan in April. You got to come to the wedding.
That's true. Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out how to get. I want to get some cool cars at the wedding.
Well, I don't know if it matters, but I've got my ex-roommate from college, Akira, actually lives in Yokohama. Total car guy. I could literally call him and be like, "You need to go there with a camera and take
He
some pictures."
should. Yeah, he should. He should just go anyway. But Rob Ferretti brought a donk.
I saw that.
He's like, if you play your cards right, I'll bring this to the wedding. I was like, please do. That sounds fucking great. Sounds amazing. Yeah. So the Radwood schedule is gonna be awesome.
The cool part is that it's just it's just fun. It's just straight up fun, right? There's no lawn chairs. There's no bullshit.
It's jokes. The costumes are jokes. The cars can be jokes, or they're really cool.
Right.
It's just a good time.
Right.
And then even in the parking lot, people that they couldn't get tickets for their cars, there was like a 355 in the parking lot and a 308 in the parking lot.
Right.
You know, cool
dude,
shit shows
and
up.
forget that. Couldn't even get in the parking lot. If you looked at the street.
Yeah.
If you looked
really?
off the roof around the streets around the Peterson, like in the neighborhood and shit, there was just 80s cars fucking scattered all over the place. Street parked,
The cool part about 80s and 90s cars is that they're actual, this is going to sound really weird, drivable cars.
Yeah.
Meaning, when the 60s and 70s cars, you don't really want to drive those every day. As someone who has dailied old cars.
Yeah.
It's kind of sucks.
Beats the shit out of you.
Like my Monte Carlo, when I retrofitted that,
Yeah.
it was still 50 years old. Like, it still didn't want to do what I wanted it to do. Whereby you can go buy an IROC and you can roll that every day and it's fine. It's comfortable. The power windows
AC
work.
pretty much works.
AC works.
There's a dude in my gym with the world's cleanest IROC. You've seen that guy, right, Zach?
Yep.
The tall black guy with the dreads?
Yep.
He's got the freshest, fresh.
Really
I'd
mint.
be all in. I
Oh,
would
wait,
see
if
that.
you scroll down on Instagram, there's a picture of it from the day I bought my Countach, so it's not that long ago. That's not my, is that mine? It's not my Instagram. That's Radwood's.
That's the problem.
But he showed me up at the fucking gym with his IROC.
Yeah.
It was, I was trying to be pimp, and he was like, nope, here it is. Look at that. That is.
Yeah. See, white letter tires, dude, that's on point.
Mega fresh, dude.
So
and
what-
you see how high that steering wheel's tilted up?
Yeah.
I love when they tilt the steering wheel up all the way out of the way. Because I could see him from the window of the gym. I was on the fucking elliptical when I saw him get in, and I was like, pull the lever, tilt it down, pull the lever, tilt it down, pull it down. But he didn't. He drove away with it all tilted up like that.
Well, what's your next 80s car? Like, I know what I want to buy.
I can't fucking buy anything, dude.
Dude,
I'm so tapped out. I'm out of money. I'm out of nerve.
You're preaching to the choir.
I need to save up because one little thing went wrong with the Lambo. It cost me $2,000.
Yeah.
I need to chill on that shit for a minute.
Yeah.
The Porsche's getting a new fucking engine right now.
Oh yeah, you got to chill.
I've had a.
I forgot about that.
I don't
You
want to
gotta
say it's a rough month because I'm still got air in my lungs and everything's okay. But I mean, I've had an expensive month of car repair bills. So I'm going up there after this show. I got to go drive to North Hollywood and go visit my engine, make a little video for the channel about what's wrong with my Porsche.
Okay.
It's like the Larry Cosilla model.
I sent Zach pictures last night. You see the pictures I sent you of my cylinder heads? They don't look good.
Really? Were they just? Was you just getting blow by?
This looks like a really seasoned pan.
My valve, I need a valve job. I need a top end rebuild.
Yeah. Okay. That's gonna.
Like coffee crusted ribs. It's expensive. It's really.
It didn't look good.
Dark matter.
And it's a shame because it's like it's not.
You just got it back. That's the thing.
Yeah, and it's not like BBI didn't fuck up. Like this, it was gonna happen, but like they had it like just before it was a problem. Like it became a problem like 600 miles later.
Right.
It's just like because you on the thing fucking was smoking like crazy, right?
Okay.
It didn't do that when they had it. It started that afterwards.
Okay.
And like they did the plugs. It had brand new plugs in it.
It was fine.
And when they took the other plugs out, like they were fine, and they put new plugs in, and now the plugs were like swimming in oil.
Yeah.
So like fucked.
Well, and that's I hate to say it, but that's another thing about an old car is they are old and they can go south.
Well, this is an expected thing for 87s at 100,000 miles, and mine has 93,000 miles on it. So, like...
You're kind of on point.
Yeah. And, like, I have a feeling, like, when Lee had it, he might have beat the shit out of it a little bit more than expected.
Right.
And, possibly accelerated this process.
Well, it sucks when you're, near 100,000 miles in most cars. Like, it's a timing chain. It's this. It's like something's, like, in my case, it's like the evaporation tank is known to get brittle and crack and explode. Like... a lot of stuff will break down over that much time, and you just have to fix it first.
You're preaching the choir. as somebody who owns a 928 and just did every preventative maintenance service, it hurts.
It could happen.
But you got to do it.
Like I think I can't remember who I was talking to. They bought an E46 M3 with like 110 on the clock, but it had all the 100,000 mile stuff done.
Yeah.
Like it's nice. We always want to buy cars with less miles. We always think that's better.
Yeah.
But I think if you're near that, you should just find one that's had all that shit done to it.
Absolutely.
Like I paid the right price for my car, and I still think I bought the right car and I'm doing the right things. But like Marco at TLG, he said like if you want the daily driver 911, you want a 993 with 110,000 miles on it that just had that 100,000 mile top end rebuild, because it's like at retail it's like a $15,000 service.
Right.
Whoa.
So you buy a car with 90,000 miles on it, you're gonna have to put 15 more into it.
Right.
Whereas you buy one with 110,000 miles on it, you're a net minus 15 because someone just did that for you, and you're good for another 90,000.
Right.
It's in every 100K is a top end rebuild.
That's a really good way to look at it. It's getting 15 on top of the hood.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So anyway, it is what it is. We'll go up there later. We'll see what's what.
Yeah.
It's just another fucking check. You know what?
It is what it is, man.
White people problems.
Listen, we're fortunate enough to be in the position that it is just another check. I don't want to say just another check, but we're fortunate enough to be in a position where we can enjoy that.
Yeah. And by getting rid of my Focus RS early, I'm like a net $700 a month plus that I don't have to pay for a car I don't like driving.
Right,
so,
exactly.
It's cool, man.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's cool, and I got press cars all month, so it's all right.
So you're covered.
It's all right.
They've been very helpful. That's why I had a Passat GT. I was like, my car's having problems. What do you guys got? And they were like, you want a Passat? And I could just feel in the email, they're like, well, it's like bring around the loaner. And I was like,
I love that scene.
Totally. Loaner.
In the mask.
Yeah.
Get on the loaner.
No.
What's up with that fucking? Would you get an Avalanche? Denali?
GMC Denali Canyon, which is like a dressed up Colorado.
I literally
did you just have that for a week?
Yeah.
Oh, really? How was it?
Drives really nice. JF and
Johnny
rode in it. And it's more like commute truck. He's got like a light towing package, 5-foot bed, so you could put
a bike back there.
You could put a bike back there with a tailgate down. I don't know. It's nice inside, but it's not like, oh wow, this is fancy. Like it's not as nice inside as a Ford F-150 Platinum, which is more expensive.
But it's smaller.
It's smaller.
But
it's Tacoma size.
Yeah.
But it's $48,000.
That's expensive.
And a Tacoma starts at 35, and a ZR2 starts at 41.
Yeah, but Toyota dealers are marking up those off-road Tacomas to like $55,000. Did you see someone just posted a fucking TRD 4Runner that was $71,000 with ADM? They put 20. They put 20 on the hood. I'm sorry. That putting 20 on the hood means it's like a discount. They added 20 ADM.
That boggles my mind.
Okay, MSRP though of like a normal crew cab 4-wheel drive Tacoma is $35,000, and then you add stuff on.
Yeah,
and this is like starts at 43. I feel like you're just paying for the badge.
You are.
Like the leather isn't that nice.
Denali is not something that's not a trim package worth money.
No. I agree.
I saw I told you about my dad's Escalade, right? Did we talk about the show? So my dad got an Escalade.
Okay.
There was 30 on the hood. The sticker on it was 96. He got it for 66.
We were talking. Okay,
see, this
is gonna roll into this conversation.
And he
Cars are
fucking
overpriced.
hates it.
Really?
He hates it so much.
Really? I think they drive.
He calls it
fine.
a piece of shit. He's like, the seat heaters come on their own all the time. Like just electronic stuff goes wrong.
He got a bad one then.
Yeah,
they're
got
usually
a bad
pretty
one.
bulletproof.
He's got bad. Didn't he had a bad 7 Series?
He had a bad 7 Series. He had a bad S Class. He's had a couple. He had a really good diesel Audi. Yep. His Audi Q7 was really good.
Except for one little thing.
Except for one minor problem. That ended up saving him a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean,
and we just got rid of the second to last RX 300. We are down to a single RX 300, down from 4.
Do you guys need to borrow some money? You guys okay?
We gave my mom because we were talking about the seats.
Yeah.
So the last 2 RX 300s are at my parents' vacation house, and my dad couldn't drive this one anymore because even though it only had 70,000 miles on it, the seat was like kind of getting worn out. He's got a real sensitive back, so he gave it to my little cousin, and they just went out and got a used 2017 Highlander. Okay. For, I don't know, not whatever, but it has much better seats. Mm-hmm.
Probably feels like a similar vehicle anyway.
Dude, the thing was like minted. I had like 10,000 miles on it. It basically was brand new.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of nice.
Not
Not so bad. As a completely generic get to the golf course vehicle.
Totally fine.
Does it have?
It'll
Okay,
last 1,000 years.
what is the dash made of, and what are the seats made of?
The seats are leather.
Right.
It's like a
probably-
limited edition one. It has like a wood grain dash. It's like the nicest Highlander that you can get. It has all the shit on it. It was pretty nice. I kind of liked it actually.
I've driven
mom's got a
F-150
Highlander.
Platinum. Like
The newer Highlanders are pretty nice.
They look good.
Yeah, my sister had the first gen Highlander. What a pile of junk.
They've come a long way.
You remember she rolled it? I used to complain when I would drive it that the brakes were totally inadequate. You could actually stand on the brake pedal, like the pedal on the floorboard, and not engage ABS. Like I would complain about it every time I drove it. I'd be like, "Mom, this is dangerous." I should be like, "I took it in." Eventually, I don't know if it was related or not, but one of the wheel bearing seized, and my sister fucking rolled it 3 times. She was okay, but that was the end of that.
Good.
It was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But the new one is really nice.
Yeah,
I would hope so. That thing was like an 01.
No, they. I mean, we were talking about that before. Just used cars in general and what you can get for your money. Again, as opposed to
because new cars we're talking about are too expensive. Like $90,000 Suburban. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You drove the Infinity.
The QX80.
That was it was $93,000,
and I was like, what a pile of shit this thing is.
It's not like the cars are shitty cars. They're just.
You know what?
93 grand, and it's not that pretty inside. It's not that pretty outside.
Right. They're not bad. I shouldn't say it's a shitty car. They're not. It's just for what you get. I feel like the person who buys those has never driven anything else. They've never driven anything really, really good to compare it to. And so they get it in these big, luxury boats, and they're like, this is wonderful, these seats. And it's like, well, you really got to branch out a little bit,
When my pops came out here, he rented a Tahoe.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dad, this is the same thing as what you have, and it costs half as much.
Right.
And he was like, oh, shit, it is. He's like, and it doesn't have that dumb touchscreen. I was like, yeah, see? Wow, you got a lot of questions.
Should we close Super Chat?
No, not just yet. We'll get, if you want to get, I would say now, if you want to get in the Super Chat before the end of this show, we're going to close it in a few minutes. So get your Super Chat questions in now, and we'll get to them in the end of the show.
There's a guy named Mr. GMC. What do we think about GMC? Maybe you can explain, Mike, because you're much older. Why does GMC exist?
Money.
Was it just brand diversification? Like GM owns a bunch of stuff, and they made
GMC
Pontiac and Chevy.
used to be, it was basically the truck line. It was
commercial vehicles, right?
Yeah.
Dump trucks and shit, right?
And then,
now it's like
luxury.
So it's luxury Chevrolet. I mean, we know, but then so Denali's luxury Chevrolet. Mm-hmm. It just seems like, especially with their plants closing recently,
it's totally redundant.
I wonder if GMC
brand.
will still exist as a brand in 5 years.
Probably because the margins are so good. They make a ton of money.
Yeah. The way it was explained to me was like the construction worker drives a Chevy and the foreman drives a GMC.
That's exactly what
literally.
I said to Denali, I was like, this isn't I work at the golf store. This is I manage the golf store.
Right, yeah.
That's because it's not a big truck.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when I did that drive from Anchorage to Calgary for the Genesis thing, I planned the route. I didn't do it for Genesis. Just full disclosure. The number of F-150 Platinums on the road in fracking country there was like 50% of pickup trucks.
$70,000 truck.
Yeah.
Because you got money, you're living out of your truck and of a mobile home, and you working in the woods. But these guys they need a way to stand out, so they all buy the same $80,000 truck. But then everyone has the same truck again. It's a level playing field. I just don't get the luxury truck thing.
I don't either. I mean, a truck to me is a truck. And I get if you're a contractor and if you're in it every single day, it's nice to be in a nice place. It's got to be nice.
Oh, I completely understand that.
But the markup that they're putting on these things for these massive badges, for the platinum things and all that crap, give me a fucking break.
The one thing I like is that King Ranch leather. I'm about the King Ranch leather. That shit is dope. That saddle leather and the King Ranch, that shit is sweet.
It's comfy.
It's nice, but I mean,
is it much better than a loaded F-150? Get an F-150 FX4 with all the options.
No, not really.
No. That's just that's I don't understand.
No,
but we're not in that market,
right?
But there's people in Texas fucking screaming at their radios right now.
Of course, you don't know what you're talking about, jackass.
Yeah.
I told the camera, I was like, if you live in these kind of areas, or if you just explain the comments nicely, what it is about Denali or GMC that appeals to you. I want to learn. I don't want to like talk down because it's like you said, Texas, Middle America.
Yeah, I don't think that you get significantly more.
No, there are some options like there are engines that you can get in the Denali that you can't get in the standard.
Oh, do you get like the Escalade engine in the GMC? Oh, is that why?
Yeah. So there are some options that you do get, which is fine. And don't get me wrong, like I had a Denali XL. A couple of weeks, it was about a month ago. Last time I came down to LA.
Suburban Denali.
No, it was the GMC, the Yukon XL.
But that XL means suburban length as opposed to Tahoe length.
Right. And I thought it was brilliant. Like that thing that'll cruise at 95, 100 all day long. It feels stable. It actually handles good for what it was. It had the upgraded brake package with the 6-piston Brembos on it. Like.
Well, those are real a big brake kit is a real option. Yeah.
But a nice truck. And when I looked at the price, it was $81, and I said, that's high.
That's high.
But it was good.
Man, $81 for what is fundamentally a Suburban. That seems like so much.
Yeah, dude, but the Infiniti, when I got in that was 90 plus, and I was like, oof.
How's the last time I was in one of those big QXs, whatever they call it these days, I remember it was
exactly
huge on the
same
outside.
As 2013.
So it felt cramped inside.
It is. If you're my size, you're Matt's size, like I go by like shoulder width and leg room. The console in that thing is that effing wide. So your leg butts right up against it.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, this is the biggest truck on the street, and I can't fit in it. Get the fuck out of here with this thing.
You know what I'm stoked for? On tomorrow, I get the Lexus Land Cruiser. The LX 570.
Oh, that you'll actually
which
like.
Which is kind of, I know it's ugly. The front end is ugly.
Yeah, but it's a Land Cruiser.
It's a Land Cruiser.
Yeah, no, you'll like that.
I'm going on a 2,000 mile. Hannah and I are going hiking in southern Utah. We're going. That's our vacation this winter. We're going winter hiking.
Okay.
And so we're basically gonna be living out of this thing for like a week and a half. So I'm kind of stoked actually.
No, you'll enjoy it.
I don't have to, as long as I don't have to look at the front end too much. The Lexus Land Cruiser seems really nice.
It is.
I think it's like 100 G's, but like. It's supposed to be pretty awesome if you can get past how it looks.
And they're actually extremely good off-road.
Well, that's sort of the deal, right?
Yeah. Really good off-road.
Yeah. There's this road called Cottonwood Canyon Road that runs north out of Page, Arizona towards Bryce Canyon, and it's where I was driving it. It's a dirt road. I got a rented Expedition stuck there in the middle of a snowstorm when I was like 22, and I thought I was gonna fucking die. And I want to tackle that road again. Ooh, that looks like a nice interior.
I was just curious,
it is a nice
interior,
interior.
because
a big wide console, huh?
At this price point,
I don't understand that.
But that's gotta have
well,
great
because
seats.
they want. I mean, if you want more room, it's gonna separate apart, and then they have space to fill.
This thing's gonna have great seats. I'm excited to live out of this thing for like a week.
I mean, I miss the days of narrow.
The front
consoles.
is ugly, but everything else about that, besides the front, looks pretty fucking nice.
Yeah.
I don't think I need those monitors. Those are big. Jesus,
Those are real big.
It's a big back monitor there.
Just take your kids' phones away,
Nice
people.
gauges.
Just take them away.
I don't know. I think that'll be a good hiking road trip vehicle.
Curious to see what kind of mileage you get.
Probably pretty terrible.
It'll be in the low
20s.
teens. No,
Yeah, but
20s. 20s.
21?
No, there's no
Dude,
way.
I guarantee he pulls 12.
I don't think it'll be that bad.
We shouldn't
on
be
the
doing that
highway.
anymore.
I don't think
We
it'll be that
shouldn't be
bad.
doing
Dude, that Infinity, I averaged 10.3.
Where were you driving and how?
I was actually really trying to figure out what it could get. I averaged 10.3 driving what I would consider normal.
Oh, wow. Look at the estimated fuel economy. 13, 18,
Told you.
15 combined. Yeah, that's bad.
That's real bad. We shouldn't be there again. I feel like we've slipped back.
That's pretty bad. Yeah. I just had to drive. We were down in South Carolina, and my dad and all his friends and we went on this like hunting trip, and one of the other guys had a rental car, and he rented a Wrangler. And it was not the newest one.
Okay.
It was the last gen one. And I had to drive it like 90 miles each way, morning and evening, because they just were like, they were all these, old dudes. And they were like, can you drive in a... Man, is there a worse car to do a sustained 90 miles an hour down 95 in?
Well, no.
The wind blows you all over the place. You got to do so much steering input.
The new one
so
is
noisy.
so much better at that. Like markedly better.
Really?
Even with the soft top, it's good.
I know. I got a press car soft top. I rented a 2015 before.
Yeah.
Soft top was pretty quiet. It still doesn't like you. You don't feel like you should be going over 80 in those things.
Yeah.
It doesn't
No,
feel.
that's not what it was made
it
for.
will, but
it's not what.
But there's a huge difference in the generations. Like they
I
like
need to
the
get
length
try
of
the newest
wheelbase,
one.
wider.
They're
a
still
little bit.
renting the old ones.
Yeah.
They haven't gotten the new ones,
No.
Enterprise yet.
It's way
I don't know
better.
if it was from Enterprise. I don't know where the fuck it was from. How's your Demon?
It's awesome.
You've been driving it a lot?
Every now and again.
What
Yeah,
do
I'm
you
actually
do with
coming.
it? Have you taken it to the drag nights at Sonoma?
No, not yet, but I'm going to.
What do you do with it? Just drive it around?
It makes me smile every time I get in it.
Don't you have shop space at Sonoma? You're used to.
No. I have shop space. Like I have a shop by my house.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Oh yeah, how's
I'm
that
actually
shop
coming.
coming? Do you put anything in there?
It's just I can fit 2 more cars in there and that's it.
Oh, nice.
Which is good and bad because I can only fit 2 more, but I can fit 2 more. The Demon that car just makes me giggle every time I get in it because it's just ridiculous. You get in it, you hit the gas, and it goes rap, and the front rears up. It'll break the back wheels loose at 70. It's just hilarious.
Do you have the normal size? Do you have skinnies on the front of it?
I have the skinnies. I haven't put them on.
You haven't put them on? Have you opened the crate?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What's in the crate?
A bottle of Monster Energy and some balls.
You get the skinnies. You get a torque wrench. You get basically everything you need to go to the racetrack. And literally it just fits. You pull the foam container out and it slips right into the trunk.
Oh, it goes in the trunk.
Oh, it's brilliant. Literally everything in the crate fits right in the trunk perfectly.
Yeah.
The thing about the Demon is that I might have to come back next week again. You're more than welcome to drive, Zach. You want to drive it? Drive it.
Yep, Demon one take.
I'll be out of town, but Zach can drive it.
It's just fun. You've driven one, right?
I never have.
Oh,
I've
dude.
never driven a Demon.
It just makes you giggle.
What the fuck is that?
No, that's my buddy Mike's Nova.
That's amazing.
Nova, that rules.
Save that
Like
for
put it
later.
in drag mode and just to the light, just hit the gas and the whole front just goes raw and it like lurches forward. It makes you feel like a superstar.
Is it that much different than a Hellcat?
The suspension absolutely is. So when you
Like, I don't like how bouncy the Hellcat is. That's the one thing I don't like. It's really bouncy.
Bouncy as in like jarring bouncy?
Like oversprung.
Oh. So then you would so the Demon in sport mode pretty much feels like a Hellcat.
Yeah.
When you put it in comfort mode though, I shit you not, it feels like a 71 Chevelle.
Oh, that's good.
You drive down the thing and the whole thing just goes.
Oh, see,
like
that's
an old
good.
Cadillac?
Yeah, no, that's what I want.
And don't you track it like in comfort because it squats a lot? It has more squat in the back than a regular Hellcat.
Well, you track it, you put it in drag mode.
Well, sorry, but drag mode allows for more squat in the rear than the Hellcat.
Correct. And it's the world's biggest hammer. It just makes you laugh and giggle. That's all it does. And like if somebody wants to do a roll with you at like from 60 on, all right, let's go.
Ridiculous.
It's like unless you're in a 720S, you're not winning.
Yeah.
You're not winning, and that makes you feel like a rock. And I have had everybody from like.
Is it geared shorter than a Hellcat?
No, it's got a 308 rear gear.
What's a Hellcat have?
290.
Okay, so a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. Where does it run out of juice?
It doesn't.
Faster than you've been.
Oh yeah. I mean, uncorked when you have the performance PCM in there, we've got the PCM in it, and I want to take it to a mile event.
Oh boy,
I'm sure someone has.
I have the other sets of wheels. I bought the wheels for the from the wide body Hellcat.
red
So
eye,
I don't.
This will
Yeah.
sound weird, but that seems like a safer place to get used to the acceleration than a quarter-mile track.
It is. It is.
Because it's always on a runway and it's wide.
Just Google Dodge Demon standing mile. Let's see if anyone's done it.
Yeah,
See what
it'll
it's
go over
for sure.
200.
It'll go over 2? I don't know
not
about
the standing
that.
mile. Not in the standing. No, standing mile. I think they're getting
Maybe in a
150s.
Magnum.
I think in the standing they're getting 153, 155.
That's a half mile. 53 would be a half mile number.
So then I don't know what they're getting in the.
Like you need
mile.
typically you need 1,000 horsepower to go 200 in a mile.
Okay.
That can't be. That's not standing mile. That can't be 203.
No,
But
that's
like-
not standing.
Like a 153 is what
Would be half mile. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm doing 140 in the quarter.
Yeah, like a
Sorry, brain fart.
a McLaren 650 runs like in the low 160s in the half mile. Like a Porsche 918 will do like 174.
It's probably in the 160s, I would think. I mean, here's the thing. The biggest issue with that car, if you're going to run it in the mile, is the hood. Because that hood, that's one of the reasons they redesigned the red eye hood. If you look at the hood on the Demon, you have that massive air gap.
Yeah.
That's a lift.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're hitting 160, and I've done about 165 in the Demon, you get a little bit of lift.
Yeah.
Right? So, but I did that on the drag slicks.
Right.
On the road tires, I would like to do it, and I'd like to put a red eye hood on it and see what it does, because I could pretty much guarantee it'll probably run between 205 and 208 around there. I think fully uncorked.
Some guy says he saw a Hellcat do 174 in a standing mile. Demon, it doesn't seem like
A Hellcat doing 174 in a standing mile. That seems very hot. Oh, standing mile. You say mile? Yeah, that sounds right. I did 177 in a C6 ZR1 in a mile.
Well, why don't we take it to a mile event?
Okay.
I mean,
Yes, let's do that.
I mean,
Where?
it's very, we happen to have one.
Mojave. They have one, right?
The Mojave Mile.
Is there Mojave
Mojave
Mile?
is a mile. Yeah. Shift sector is a half mile.
Yeah, why don't we just take the Demon and drive it down there and
Yeah.
see how fast we go?
Yeah.
No more super chat questions, please. Just let everybody know.
But it's just a lot of fun. It really, and it rides completely different with the drag slicks on it.
That to me would be the biggest difference, the ride, because I love everything about the Hellcat except the ride and how hard it is to park.
Dude, it rides like an old Chevelle.
Yeah,
it really
go.
does.
You
On the
like it.
highway,
So fun.
oh, it's great.
So fun. I love the Charger Hellcat so much. I think that's the last like muscle car kind of with the same ethos as the old ones.
Yeah.
Like, heavy, just romp
Big
on
sled.
it goes. The other ones are sports cars. The times that the 1LE Camaros, even the 2-liter and V6 are putting down
Sports
or put
cars.
down at Lightning Lap is like really impressive compared to M3s of 3 years ago.
That's why I still like I like everything, but I obviously gravitate to Dodge because when everybody else is trying to go smaller displacement turbos, they're like 1,000 horsepower crane engine. Like, they don't give a shit, and I just love that as like an older guy who
They
loves
didn't even
muscle
really
cars.
try to make the Dart work.
No, they were just like,
scrap the Dart,
get
put
rid
the
of that.
Hellcat motor in the Jeep. Next,
Go, yeah.
They're great at that. It's like,
I
how's
guess
your compact car
is that
segment?
Hellcat Ram coming out? Maybe.
I'm assuming it will.
I think they will, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they've got a ton of stuff in the works. But I just like it because they just keep hitting shit with a bigger hammer.
Yeah.
I feel like they
make it faster.
Like
Make
the
it more
392.
powerful.
I drove a 392 Charger. Like, that's a great car.
Awesome.
They do need. I mean, and Jeeps sell really well. I think they need to do something else because they're like a fairgrounds where every time they have a state fair or fireworks show, this place is great. But then everything else they do at the fairgrounds is like, why is there so much dirt here and it's a flea market?
Well, I mean,
like,
if you look
and
at
how long with environment can you survive just selling 1,000 horsepower?
Well,
special
I mean,
things?
I have a feeling
That's
they'll
why
probably
they have Fiat.
Yeah, they'll
That's
probably
why they
start
have
coming
Fiat.
out. They have to come out with different hybrids. They have to, right?
Do they have
So
any hybrids right now?
Pacifica,
that's a good van.
Pacifica.
That's
which
a
is
great fan.
outstanding.
Yeah.
by the way,
I forgot about that. I
Pacifica-
forgot there was a hybrid.
yeah, is
Sam Smith drove it at Chuck
outstanding.
Walla and slid it in the dirt for proving grounds. Yeah.
Is that what you had the fucking truck for?
For this?
Yeah.
No, this is just for me.
Oh, okay.
It's just whatever.
Yeah, Pacifica's good. Everything else though, they got to update.
I like the Durango, actually. No one talks about the
Great.
Durango.
I
The
love
Durango's
it.
pretty nice.
Well, it was funny. I was just talking to Pat, and we were talking about it. We're like, hey, I should just buy a Durango. Like, just buy an SRT Durango. Because
pretty cool.
They tow 8,700 pounds.
Yeah.
I could like slap my old shit on the back of it and tow it to LA.
Yeah.
Just because, not for nothing, I'm getting old. I don't sit in open windows. And,
Yeah.
7
you get
miles a gallon.
tired after you do 5 hours in a car with open windows. You get tired.
Wait, what car do you drive down with open windows?
The Charger?
The Charger or the Daytona.
yeah, of
like,
course.
I'm getting old. Older.
That's
That's
a
why
long
I'm so
dude, that's
glad
hard.
the fucking
That's hard.
Countach has air conditioning.
Oh, dude.
And I made them put air conditioning in my 911. I was like, this fucking, I better have air conditioning in this bitch.
I won't do non-AC cars
Yeah, yeah.
anymore. I am past the age of trying to prove shit to people. Fuck that noise.
Yeah.
I want comfort. I want comfortable seats. I want to be like, yeah, this is nice.
Yeah.
So like, I'm thinking of redoing the Charger and the Daytona. I'm gonna dump 500 pounds of sound deadening material in each one of them with air conditioning and fuel injection.
I completely understand,
Make
sir.
them. I want them to be adult cars now. Like the adolescent Mike was like, these are really fun, but the adult Mike is like, those sucked. Fix them.
I feels you, buddy. What do we got on Super Chat? I saw there was the list was growing. Cut it off, folks.
I cut it off.
All right. Can you zoom in? I can't see shit. Let's see. Justin. Hi, Justin. My buddy Austin was lucky enough to meet Musto at Cars and Coffee in Black Hawk. Love for being a cool cat. No
Cool.
questions. But shout out to Austin from the Bay Area.
Okay.
There doesn't have to be no pressure. There can be pressure.
Cool.
Next one says, I can't remember. Read the guy's name.
Keith
Stone. I'm 6'4" and 185 and considering a Fiesta ST with
6'4",
Recaros.
185. That guy's built like a pipe cleaner with feet.
It's Larry.
Yeah.
I test drove one. Tight, but can't tell if they'll be long-term uncomfortable.
Yes, I believe they will be because this. Well, actually, at 185,
Thaddeus was 6'5" and drove, and 6'5" and like 300 and drove fucking Fiesta ST.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
he liked
find those
it.
seats particularly comfortable at 6'4", 240.
Yeah, I mean, I found the Fiesta seats better than the Focus RS seats.
Yeah.
They broke in better, but the it depends on how you're shaped, man. Like if you have a lot of legs, the Fiesta's footwell is pretty narrow.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you got to use your own judgment on this one. This is a shape. Your body is shaped how it's shaped. Like I don't know what your inseam is and your shoulder width. Like
Honestly, find a buddy who's got one.
Go sit. Just go sit in.
Yeah.
get one on fucking Turo for like 3 days.
Yeah,
a better
seriously,
idea.
that's a great idea.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
If you can, rent one on Turo for a couple of days and try it.
Perfect idea.
Long term, that's a really personal and tough question. I wish I could help you more.
Yeah.
Sorry. Josh says loved Zach's Passat GT video. The
Thanks,
intro
buddy.
walkthrough is helpful and hilarious. Keep up the good work. Speaking of Zach's video work, which you should check out, someone emailed me today and was like, "Yo, I want to make videos for you." And I was like, all right. He was like, I could definitely do better than your substitute. I was like, well,
Wow.
he ain't my substitute. But I was like,
An
put
addition.
up or shut up, homie. Send
Yeah.
me a fucking video. And he's like, I have access to all these cars. I was like, I could give a fuck.
Yeah.
What I care about is if you are watchable.
Right.
We will see. So, homie in San Antonio, the fucking I think what's gonna happen is we're gonna fucking play that dude's video on this podcast, and we're gonna let the audience decide if this guy's
You
watchable or
stepped in the
not.
deep end now, pal.
That's true.
If I
Good
had to
luck.
guess, some guy off the street would be highly unwatchable. If I had to guess.
It's not easy, man. It takes
If you
a lot
look
of
at
time.
look at my first video, unwatchable.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. Mine, awful.
Yeah. No, it's a hard learning curve.
Joe says, is there an average amount of time to become competent with a manual? I found someone who has a Type R to teach me, and I'm really excited.
I mean, you don't want to learn on a Type R.
Type R is easy to drive.
Easy to drive.
A Civic Type R? That's dumb easy to drive. Super easy.
I mean, I know what you're saying like it's a performance car,
Yeah.
it's expensive, but I think it's probably pretty easy.
I mean, is there an average amount of time? Like, if you have decent hand-eye coordination, you
fine.
could
Half
be
hour.
able to drive without, like, stalling all the time, like, in a half an hour.
Yeah.
But I could teach anyone to drive stick in a half hour. But if you then don't do it anymore after that, you're not going to get to the point where you're, like, good.
Right.
Like, Hannah had this problem. Like, I taught her how to do it. She was great in a half hour. But then she refused to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Without me in the car with her, and I was like, "But you'll be fine." And she was like, "I'm scared. I don't want to do it." Like the way to learn how to drive a manual is like to actually buy a manual car and
Right.
drive it. Like your friend can teach you, that's great. But if you don't keep doing it after that, like
It's going to be a time where you have to leave the parking lot.
I think
Yeah.
competence, for me, the definition is like if you can have a conversation while driving the car and you don't have to stop the conversation to think about how to shift and go back. Like it's muscle memory.
Right.
You know, or if a car comes out of nowhere and you have to stop, like you don't
What do you
stall
do?
the car, you don't just slam on the
Right.
brake. Like you need to just know how to
Put
operate
yourself
the
on a
vehicle.
really steep hill with nobody behind you.
yeah,
My dad did that when I was learning driving the Scout, and I just did a burnout across the street.
yeah,
Didn't hit
that's
the car.
acceptable.
That's fine.
Totally.
I feel like that's
I was
what
like,
we
what do
do
I
as
do? He
kids.
goes, don't hit the car. I was like, "Brrr," and you know,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That was the solution.
Shout out to Street Bandito YouTube channel. There you go. They
Cool.
built a carbon fiber 240Z and paid for that shout out. That's all it takes, folks.
Nice.
Kevin says, based on driving enjoyment alone, keep a low mile E46 M3 and buy a cheap 4-door daily. Or replace the M with a Civic Type R as a one-car solution. Unrelated follow-up, is Zach's car fixed yet?
No, but it's almost fixed, I think, maybe.
So listen, for driving enjoyment, what is the driving enjoyment of a low-mile car that you don't drive all the time and instead spend all your time driving a cheap 4-door shitbox?
Right. I think that if you have a car that you enjoy driving, just drive it.
Drive it.
Well,
Just
all right.
drive the shit out of it. Just drive it.
But you have well, now you have a fun city car. But before that, like you had a city commuter car.
Yes.
You might have a city commuter car like the BMW.
Yep.
So I think that's his question: is if your commute every day is on a boring drive and you just want something that's like an automatic,
Go buy a hybrid.
you know, yeah,
Just go buy a
do
hybrid.
that,
But his
but keep your
solution
E46.
his alternative is a Civic Type R.
No, I don't think that makes any sense.
No, I don't either.
I think you keep the fun car,
Right.
and then do the cheap daily because then
Here's
you
the problem:
don't hate
an
your commute.
E46 M3 with low miles, if you drive it every day, will end up at medium miles.
Right. Which
is
is
the
fine.
difference between low and medium miles in value less than the cost of buying, insuring, and fueling a complete
cars.
other car.
Right.
Someone else asked me this morning. They go, I have a 4-year-old 911. It's got 45,000 miles on it. I just got a new job that has a much longer commute. Should I commute in the 911, which I love driving, or buy another car to commute in to keep the miles off the 911? I said, your 911, it wasn't a GT3, it was a regular fucking Carrera. I said, you commute in the 911 because that's where you want to spend your time.
That's exactly correct.
And putting more miles on it will depreciate the car, but it's less money than buying, insuring, and fueling a whole other car that you're going to be wanting to drive less than your 911.
Right. Well, this is one of the things I have a problem with, is that if you have a nice car and you enjoy driving it, just drive it. Just drive it.
Yeah.
If that's where you like to be there and enjoy the fucking car.
I understand a lot of people ask about investment cars and stuff, and like there are certain cars that are very special and very rare that are investments, and like I understand wanting to buy a car rather than a stock, but fundamentally you should buy what you want to drive.
Correct.
And you shouldn't be afraid to put miles on your car if that's what you want to be driving because of the value.
Correct.
You know, you'll buy it, you'll keep it, you maintain it, you drive it. When it's time to go, you get what you can get. Maybe you come out ahead, maybe you don't.
And the other part is you got to remember that cars don't like to sit.
Yeah.
So if you're going to let this thing sit for a month or two or whatever the case, cars don't like that. Machines need to be used. They like to be used. So if you're not going to drive them, shit's going to wear out.
Yeah.
Your seals are going to dry out. Everything's going to just drive the car.
The XO concurs.
Yeah. Just drive the car.
Thank you, sir. Robert says, question for Mike, how's your experience been with your 928 and what happened to the Battle Wagon?
Battle Wagon was sold years ago.
Didn't you make a profit on it?
Oh, yeah. I bought it for $2,500, sold it for $5,000.
Nice.
So I just didn't have a use for it, so I had to go. Sold it to a guy that was looking for one, which is great. He's got it.
He lives in it?
Lives in it.
Probably.
The 928 has been fantastic. I mean, it was a dream car of mine. I put a lot of money into it. I probably put $15,000 into it, but I didn't have a problem with that, and I budgeted that when I was going in with the car. I said, this is what I'm going to do. This is what has to be done to the car. And once you make that conscious choice to make a commitment to the car that you've always wanted, you make that commitment, you fix it, you do whatever you have to do to it, and then you just drive the shit out of it. Like, I drove it down from San Francisco 2 weeks ago for Radwood. Then I drove it back down to LA this week. So it's gotten 1,600 miles in the last 2 weeks. And
I drove in the Canyon today.
Zach
and
drove
it
it
quick.
Yeah.
And I think something we talked about is if you buy a car that you can barely afford that needs maintenance, and then the maintenance pops up, and then you're frozen.
Right.
So don't do that.
Don't do that.
You got a problem, man.
But I love it. And my philosophy always has been, I'm not saving the car for the next guy. Fuck him. I'm going to drive all my stuff, and I'm really going to enjoy it. That's what I do. It's a great car. Love it.
Thank you. Toon Squad says, which Radwood events will we see each of you at in 2019? I think Sonoma, San Francisco, and LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's where I'm going to be.
Done.
I'm probably not going to go to the East Coast unless someone fucking hires me. Although, is there one in Philly in 19?
There was one in Philly this year.
I love Philly. It might be if my friend's restaurant is open. When's Philly?
October.
Oh, it's October. Oh, maybe Philly because I went to Penn and my friend Chris Young My friend Chris Young had a great restaurant in Philly called the Little Lion. It burned down last year.
Whoa.
Yeah. Did you come with me when we were there? Yeah. Awesome restaurant. And there was a fire and it burned down and they're rebuilding it. And so if they reopen it, I'm gonna go.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We skipped this one. Best vehicle to tow the race car to the track on Saturday and then hit trails and wheel on Sunday.
I mean,
ZR2.
Can you tow with the ZR2?
ZR2 doesn't have that much towing capacity.
Diesel engine, right? What's its torque?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
I would if it's got any towing capacity, sure, ZR2.
I mean, a race car. If you're talking like 5,000 pounds, probably. I mean,
a Raptor.
Yeah,
5,000 with trailer.
Yeah,
Raptor probably.
Oh, yeah. Raptor.
I didn't like towing with
Colorado tow 5,000.
Yeah,
how about that?
I think a Raptor is higher.
There you go.
I didn't like towing with the Raptor, but probably for the same reason I wouldn't like towing with the Chevy. When the suspension's soft for off-road.
Yeah, the suspension isn't really
It's not
ideal
great for
for
towing.
towing.
It's going to be sagging a little bit in the rear.
Man, if you could tow with the ZR2, that's probably pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you can also tow with Grand Cherokee Overland with a V8.
Sure.
That's
Well,
really
if you get one
nice.
with the Eco Diesel, you can
or
tow
the
whatever
diesel.
you want.
Yeah, the diesel.
And that's going to off-road great.
Yeah.
Put good wheels on, or good tires on it.
Yeah.
And you'll probably get 30 miles to the gallon, 28 miles to the gallon with it.
Yeah.
Without the trailer on there.
Without the trailer.
Yeah, that's a
You'll
good
still
point.
probably get low 20s towing a trailer with that thing.
Wow. Yeah, those are great. They're really nice inside.
I'm about that. Those are some good suggestions. Let's see. Where are we at? Pure Hard Styles says, thinking about selling my 07 HSV Senator.
Okay.
Can you? Is that an Australian car?
Yeah.
What's it? Can you tell me what that is, Zach? I don't know what an HSV Senator is.
I think it's a Holden, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it is. It's some kind of Holden. Holden Specialty Vehicles.
Senator. It sounds like a 4-door.
that-
Oh, it's a GTO.
It's a GTO. Is that the Australian GTO?
Oh no, is
G8.
it an SS?
It's a two-door.
G8.
So it's a Chevy SS.
It's a
Or
two-door.
G8. Yeah.
I thought that was
These
a
are all-
Commodore.
These are all 4-door.
I thought those were Commodores.
So then that's got to be based on the SS.
It's well, SS is based on that.
Yeah.
yeah. But all right, Senator. Okay, should I go with the 2013 supercharged SS, or go the 2010 Euro route with a C63 RS4 ISF? That's Japanese, sir, or M3. Well,
You're talking 3 completely different automobiles, or 4 completely different automobiles with different feels.
I mean, a supercharged Chevy SS, which is now at this point 5 years old, or an even older C63R. Okay, so here's what you have to worry about. All of those Euro cars
Maintenance.
are prime time for the big dollar maintenance, except the Lexus, which is not Euro, it's Japanese. Those Lexuses are really bulletproof. They're fucking stout.
I mean, a blown SS
Is
it's
fast.
not going to break,
It's a fast car.
right?
It probably won't break.
Yeah.
I drove one. I have a video of one. I'm driving one. It was fast.
Yeah.
It should be cheaper to maintain because if they're built there, the parts supply would be better than like Japan. You have to get for the ISF. You have to get everything shipped, right?
I guess I don't know. Oh yeah, that's A is Australian dollars. Yeah, okay. Bro, what is your tolerance for maintenance is the question. RS4s are really expensive, high mile maintenance. C63s have that head stud thing.
Yep.
The M3 has the rod bearing issues. Those are all really expensive to deal with. The ISF has none of that. It just has weird seats. That's
I would say if you liked your Senator a lot, the SS is the same thing but
Yeah,
newer.
the fast-
You'll
Yeah.
be happy. If you get the ISF, you may miss torque compared to the supercharged SS, but you know it should be more reliable than the other 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, someone did a burnout outside the office.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
I would say get the ISF, but because its other thing is just
It's going to be more reliable. But you are
because
going
you
to miss
clearly.
the torque.
I don't think this
Exact
dude
same.
wants a newer version of what he has.
He wants
you
something
don't. You
different?
wouldn't ask us
Yeah.
if he otherwise he would just buy the newer version of what he has.
I would just stick with the supercharged SS.
Yeah, I would too. Thank you, sir. Blunder Crush says best automatic under 50,000 for canyon driving.
Can you get a
Can you get paddles?
came in with a
Yeah,
PDK,
yeah.
PDK?
for under 50 grand?
Oh, I mean,
Shit, you can get
the problem
you
is
can get
is
a came in with a PDK
It's got to
for
be
25
new.
grand.
Yeah, but he can't be talking about used. He's got to be talking about new, right? Otherwise, like who the fuck?
Doesn't say new.
It doesn't say new or used. We'll come back to you. Can you go in the regular comments section and put if you're new? We're talking about new or used because if you're talking about used, like you can get PDK Caymans and
Right.
shit for like 25
Which are
grand.
fantastic.
If you're talking about new, let's assume new. Best automatic under 50 for new. I mean,
canyon driving?
I like the Golf R.
Golf R,
Yeah, yeah.
Golf
There you go.
R,
A good one today.
Okay.
Golf R with a DSG is a very good vote. The BRZ's automatic is
but it's
really
so
nice.
fucking slow.
It
The
is.
car is
But the
slow,
car-
but the automatic, he's
Automatic's
asking about
good. Yeah, okay.
The ZF8 speed in the BMW is
Fantastic.
quick now. That's
yeah,
very good.
yeah. What did I just
but
drive?
nothing good is under 50.
The Lexus was kind of trying to.
Ooh, could you get a used M2 under 50 now that the
probably.
competition's coming out?
Maybe.
I bet
Probably
they drop a
just
bit.
probably just under 50.
Yeah.
The
I'd probably go with a Cayman with a PDK.
Audi S3, that's just over 50, right?
No, that's again used. That's
Maybe used.
That's under because the RS3 is 50. No, 60. The RS3
If you're worried about riding that 50 line, I would just get the Golf R.
Yeah.
which by the way,
which
if you
is
get
great.
stage 2 is fast as fuck.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
great. That's a great
super
car.
fast.
Great car.
Yeah. What else has a good automatic under 50? The Genesis actually had a pretty nice automatic. The
Automatics
8-speed and
are
the
You
Genesis.
enjoyed that
nowadays.
car.
I love the Genesis. It was so
I haven't
fucking
driven
nice.
that yet. I really want to.
I met 2 people at Radwood that said they bought Genesises.
Good.
I was very excited that people are actually buying them.
That's good.
What else? Who else does? No, does Acura have a good auto? No.
No.
Does Honda? No. What other manufacturers? Does GM under 50? Can you get a Camaro SS auto 10-speed? What's an SS auto 10-speed?
You can. Yes, you can. You can get a
You get a
an
1LE?
SS 1LE.
For under 50?
Oh yeah,
Barely.
barely under 50. But that automatic is
That's pretty good.
fantastic.
That's a really
That's
good car.
pretty good.
And I've driven that car in anger on the track.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And
That's pretty good.
That'll do everything you want it to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
That's a phenomenal
and
car.
Used, Cayman S, a little older Cayman S,
all
or
day.
possibly a 997 Carrera with miles on it. We'll have miles on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hovering on that line.
Right.
There you go, buddy. Ben says hi. Hi, Ben.
Hello, Ben.
Andy says I'm not reading.
No,
that.
Is it better if I move it over here for you?
Yeah, move it to the right so I can actually read. I'm ducking and bobbing around. Thank you, sir. Toon Squad says, any cars you regret not buying? Matt's Quicksilver Ford GT that a fan swiped years ago. Remember that?
Yeah.
Were you here for that? I talked about a very specific car I wanted to buy, and a fucking fan swiped it. That same car sold later for $125,000 more than I could buy it for. I also regret not buying fucking all the Diablo 6 liters. All of them. Fucking every Diablo 6 liter on the planet I should have bought.
Yeah.
Anything you regret not buying?
Not really. I mean, most of the stuff that
I regret not buying that blue E36 M3. I sent you a link. It was $15,000.
Oh, I remember that
and
car.
it was like a one owner.
Yeah,
in
that's a nice
Venice,
car.
And you were like, "It's too nice. You won't drive it hard," which
That's
is
right.
true.
Right.
But it was mint with like 75,000 miles, and it probably would have made $5 on it. I don't know. It would appreciate it for sure because this was before everyone was going crazy with
I
those
could
things.
have bought Ferretti's black orange GT3 for like $77,000.
that would have been a good buy.
And I couldn't scrape the cash together at the time, and he ended up selling it for like $85,000. Like I could have total friend priced that one.
I don't think there's anything I would. I mean, I'm pretty pragmatic when it comes to spending money on stuff. So I don't know. Like there was an old Roadrunner I could have bought for $9,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. I don't regret not.
Some of this stuff, like there was a car. Who was I talking to? Oh, it was Leno. Sorry to drop a name, but I was talking to Leno when I was shooting with him, and he said, like 50. You could have bought an XK 120 that had been sitting in a field, like,
for
and
nothing.
just put it in your field and done nothing with it, and like tripled your money. Yeah. It's crazy. Steven says, love the content. Thank you. I've got a 2013 Golf R manual on Bilsteins and Pilot Sport Cup 2s. Track weapon on short tracks. Can you think of the rear wheel drive equivalent for $20,000, or should I just keep the Golf? You should watch our Tuned Tuner Shootout and get the 2014 Mustang GT with the full Maximum Motorsports Maximum Grip Kit. It was the best.
Can you get that for $20,000?
Oh yeah,
You can.
100%. Right?
Yeah, because the cars themselves are very cheap, and then you get the full kit for.
I think the kit
whatever.
was $7,000 or $8,000.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be around $20,000. You buy a 2013, 2014 like you had.
Yeah.
Or
Yours was an
my
11,
car,
right?
Mine was a 2013 GT, and then mine was built by Cortex.
Same kind of shit,
same
though.
stuff.
It was the same kind of stuff.
But
Just
yeah,
good
that car was a
balance,
hammer.
good grip. I mean, Lee Keen, said that was the most easy car to drive fast that we had
And
out
it's a
there.
Mustang. They're reliable.
Yeah, and
they're-
you just
they're
hammer
great.
the shit out of it,
Yeah.
and they don't give a fuck. You
No.
leave the powertrain stock,
Right.
the right shocks, the right wheels and tires, the right
and you're
brakes.
It's a great platform.
Because as
Right.
we've said before, now you can get a 135i with track stuff for under 20, but the reliability will probably not be the same.
Dude, Mustang's a great platform.
Yes.
They are. I
They are.
think you said it years ago. You were like, it's, basically a great car on a rental car platform.
Yeah.
That you can just upgrade. And it truly is. I mean, they work.
Well, you can do it.
tremendous.
You can take it any direction you want.
Yeah.
But he said, and Steven follows up his question with, "Or should I just keep the Golf?"
You're
that's up
talking
to you,
apples to
buddy.
oranges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It all depends. On
I would say
what makes you
if
giggle.
you've had the Golfs for 5 years, fucking move on.
Yeah, try something different.
Try
But
something else.
yeah, especially because 13 Golf R is not the good one. That's a Mark 6 Golf R, and the Mark 7's way better. Lalo Rangel says, I'm trying to replace my work car. It's an 05 Jetta that can't get out of its own way. I want a nice, comfy cruiser, $3,000, torn between a Mercedes W210 or a Lincoln Town Car.
All right, go out and buy like a 2002 Buick LeSabre with the 3800 supercharged engine. You can get them for $2,500 from any grandma on Craigslist. They've got leather seats, power windows, everything you could ever want, and they're 300. You can bump them to easy 340 horsepower.
So that is, I've never heard that idea. I like it.
It's outstanding.
Is that? Oh right, I was thinking Pontiac GTP.
The GTP.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. A Grand
Haven't
Prix
seen one of those in
GTP.
It's all the same engines, same motor.
Yeah, 3800.
Total sleeper.
Speaking of Grand Prix, I think Tyler Hoover, he bought that cheap McLaren. He bought like a cheap 12C.
Oh wow.
Because he's a moron.
Right.
I mean that in the most endearing way. I love you, Tyler, but you're a fucking moron. That is one car you don't want to go cheap on. But I think to do a little dichotomy, he bought one of those ASC McLaren Pontiac like Grand Am things.
Oh.
The tuned by McLaren.
Yeah.
And I think he's trying to do a thing.
Yeah.
He posted a picture of the buttons on the steering wheel. Dude, for 3Gs, Panther platform.
Fuck
Oh yeah, Crown Vic all the way.
Well, he said town car. Town car's a
town car.
Panther platform.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Panther
Yeah.
platform. You
And they're
get a
great.
Crown Vic or a Grand Marquis or a
Yeah.
town car for $3,000,
Yeah.
and they're
I totally support the Lincoln idea, the Continental idea. That's a great,
town car.
Love
Fuck
it.
yeah. M Dewey 1983 says I test drove and bought a Fiesta ST. Thanks to your recommendation. There you go. He wanted to say thank you. It is a special car, and Musto is the man. Hey,
Thanks,
I'm
man.
glad you like your car, dude. That's. As long as you like it, that's what I care about. D1 Seppuku says, who would you say are the most influential people in automotive media, past and present? I would say Brock Yates,
Always.
Chubba Cheetah,
Yep.
David E. Davis,
Absolutely. PJ O'Rourke.
PJ O'Rourke. Yeah.
Great writer. Great writer.
Sammy Smith.
Yeah,
I like.
absolutely.
I think Sam, I'll put Sam
absolutely.
Smith on there.
Yeah, I'd put Camisa on there too.
Kamisa, Chris Harris. I think Chris Harris. Jeremy Clarkson.
Oh, absolutely.
Be impossible to ignore Jeremy
Yeah.
Clarkson. That's a pretty good list.
Yeah,
it's a good list.
honestly,
Dan
man.
Neal.
Yeah, I'd say you're on that list.
I think
Maine now.
no, I think at this
to say
point,
something that may be controversial. We'll see. I think Doug DeMuro. We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
He turned the tide. Or sorry. Everyone was doing car reviews, and then he's like, I don't drive the cars really, but I'll talk about them stationary.
Yeah.
And now there's a lot more content like Donut Media and all the science stuff.
Just
that's
what
just
it
like,
is.
Let's just learn about
This
the
is it.
thing
Boom.
without driving it,
Yeah.
which has been interesting.
And I'll throw Ken Block / Brian Scotto in there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are like, hey, do you want to go have fun? We just want to go have fun.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
great. They're never growing up at Neverland Ranch.
Jeff
Or
Zwart
Neverland.
behind the scenes. Jeff Zwart, I think maybe.
Okay.
By the way, Jeff Zwart, I think, is coming on the podcast December 27th.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, I just talked to him.
Cool.
He's a really hard person to schedule. He's the
Yeah.
sweetest man on the planet, but his schedule's insane. And so I've been going back and forth with him for like a year.
Wow.
Trying to get him on the show. So I think he's coming December 27th.
He's such like a soft-spoken guy, and then he's sliding a GT2 in the dirt
He's
up
crazy.
Pikes Peak. You're like,
Yeah, he's
dude,
crazy.
great.
Matriaz says, car design student here. What are your opinions on modern car design? And do you have any tips on what I could do if I don't want to work for OEMs only?
Well, I think one of the things you have to remember is that any car designer now, they're faced with so many regulations that they have to adhere to via the CAFE laws and whatnot. So it's very difficult for them to design now. And the fact that we're still getting this wonderful contingent of beautiful automobiles is actually really, really cool. What I would do is I would honestly, and most of these guys are accessible, look on Facebook, look on Instagram, find the designers by their name, and ping them. Every designer I've ever spoken to is more than willing to talk to you about what it takes to be in design. Like Mark Trossel from SCA, you know what I mean? Chad.
Because they know it's
guys.
hard, and it's not like there's 80 million students doing it, so they're not getting bombarded with texts every day of like how to, they'll understand. Like you're on the same team, and you're both staying up 40 hours straight to do projects.
And also, like, for what you could do if you don't work for, like, you could work for a body kit company, like a Vorsteiner or a Mansory or one of those kind of companies. You could work for a video game company and design fictional cars for video games.
Grand Theft Auto.
Hot Wheels.
Hot
Wheels.
You could work for Hot Wheels, 100%. A lot of people work at Hot Wheels. You could work at a company like an Overfinch that does crazy interior upgrades, or like a Lexani that does those like crazy like private jet type van conversions. There's a lot of options out there, man. A lot of options. Quinn says, thanks for the podcast. You're welcome, sir. Petrolhead says, Mike, I just got a 68 F100 4-speed. Any good experience with an aftermarket shifter that tightens up the slop? The standards? Hurst, B&M?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't have that much experience with those. If you ping me offline just go to my Instagram account at Mike underline Musto or whatever. I'll find something for you.
Yeah.
Helping the people.
Yeah, I mean, Summit Racing's got to have some shit for you.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, everybody does. It's just a question of which one. Yeah.
Ooh, Dragon Walk with the heavy hitter donation. High limit roller coming through. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the free content. You're welcome. I've had every model M3 besides the E30. I have a 2015 with mods. I want to add something more exciting and exotic to my garage. Where do I go from here? $40,000 to $55,000 budget. Never driven a 911. This would be a fourth car. Suggestions. Wow. Okay, so 40 to 55 grand. Never driven a 911. It's probably a good time to get
to drive one.
It's a good time to get into a Porsche.
Yeah.
And 40 to 55 grand will get you into an air cooled.
Yeah.
That'll get you into a high mile 993. It'll get you into a G body car.
You get a 996 turbo for
996 turbo money.
Right?
That's 996 turbo
Carrera
money.
4.
So fast.
Yeah, they're very fast. It would get you into
High mileage 997 Gen 1.
It'll get you into it. Yeah, it'll get you in a 997. Yeah, I mean, there's
05, 06.
a lot of options in the 911 world. You could get into a Lotus Evora S. You could get into, let's see, a fourth car. It could go a little older.
Car, I mean, you could even go and
you can go older.
You could get like Camisa or whatever the case is. You get 308 GTB or something like that.
Yeah,
like there's a bunch of stuff out there.
He loves his.
Yeah.
Oh, he adores
loves
that
that
car.
You know what you might
Elise, Lotus
It might
Elise.
be a light stretch, but you could get into a Ferrari 348.
Yeah,
Maybe a bit of a stretch, but
yeah,
you could get into a
one.
348.
Stretching to a Ferrari though.
It'll get you a great. It'll get you a great Elise.
It'll get you a great
one.
Elise. That's right.
Actually, it'll get you into a turbo Esprit as well if you wanted to go into a turbo V8 Esprit.
Yep.
Get you into a Caterham if you want to go rowdy, or a replica Cobra.
Or if you want to get
very
Caymans,
exciting.
you can get any slew of Caymans for that money.
You can get all the Caymans.
Yeah.
You probably get a Cayman R for that money.
Yeah. So you get a lot of options, man.
Bro, there's a lot of options on the table. That'll get you a shitload of Corvette.
Oh God,
I mean,
yeah.
that'll get you into
that's
the world's nicest C6 Z06.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a lot
Which
of car.
is a great car.
It'll get you into Camaro Z28, a 2015 Camaro Z28, which is a lot.
Just
which would be
talking
fun.
about that car,
Yeah.
because you can get those for around 38 to 42 right now, and that's a great car. And I think honestly, that's a collector car. I think that's going to appreciate
Z28s. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think there's some options. I think we gave him some options.
A lot of options. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of options.
You have a lot
in
of choices to sift through.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would say get something mid or rear engined if you can.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with M3s, don't just get another front engine car. I would say Ferrari 348, 911, Cayman, something like that. 308 maybe if you want something a little more classic.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you could
928.
You can get a Boss 302 for that,
You could.
right? If you wanted to get just
That's
go down
Shelby
that
money,
road.
by
an
the
old
way.
one.
That's GT350 money.
Yeah,
Oh, an old one.
an old one.
Ooh,
Yeah,
get a
yeah.
GT350. Oh,
Or you can get a muscle car.
Yeah,
You can
and
get an old muscle car.
muscle cars, man.
Any muscle car you wanted.
For 50 grand, there's a
Fucking-
bunch out there.
Yeah, like a 69 Vet.
Oh God, yeah. And
You could buy someone's Pro Touring build.
there you go.
you could
know.
absolutely, and I hate to say they give them away, but they never recoup. 50 grand buys you a ton of Pro Touring.
50
cars.
grand buys you a $100,000 Pro Touring
Oh,
build.
easy, easy.
Auction week's coming up, dude.
Yep,
Get
Barrett
that 55 grand in cash and head
Yeah,
to Scottsdale.
That's right.
I just picked up the new sports car market. There's going to be some win. You know what they're selling at the Barrett Jackson this year? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to say it's at Barrett, but it's is the Art Morrison 3G Corvette.
Yeah, they are.
Really?
I
They're
spoke to
selling
Craig
it.
about that at
Do you know what they're trying to get for it?
like 250.
250?
Yeah.
That would
think, or
be
300?
money well
Might be
spent.
300.
I don't know if they'll get it, but that's money well spent.
That's a great car.
You know what else you could get? A Skyline. A great fucking Skyline.
Yep.
You could get a really nice Skyline R32 for that money.
Well, if anybody wants, I'm actually,
you want-
believe it or not, I'm actually brokering a Skyline right now.
Whoosh.
It's from a private collection, but it's an R34 Nürburgring edition.
No, is a Motor X illegal?
Yeah.
I was about to ask, how much are R34s going for?
150?
Yeah. Depends. And like I said, this is a Nürburgring edition. It's one of 500 or 750.
There's like
8,700 miles on
There's like 19 special edition R34s.
Mm-hmm. But
this is the N1 edition. Spec V2.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Purple.
Right.
Yeah. It's in America?
Yeah.
It's legal? Ish.
It will be one day.
Legal.
Right. 150, huh?
Jeez.
One day I'm gonna have R34. One day. Let's see. Chris says I'm about to sell a daily driver Challenger for a Dream Gen 2 twin turbo Viper.
Wow, that's a whole other ballgame, pal.
I need a $10,000 daily driver, Hawkeye WRX, Audi A3, or something else. Or
10 grand buys you a lot of stuff.
For 10 grand, I'd buy an old Lexus.
Yeah,
I'd buy a Lexus GS 300 or GS 430. And just drive that.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It'd be really nice and comfortable, and because your other car is going to be insane.
That's correct. You need that. You're going to need the balance.
Yeah. An Audi A3? No. Hawkeye
boring.
WRX? No. I'm not. The idea of spending $10,000 for an 11-year-old Subaru to me is fucking crazy. That's crazy. No.
Yeah, because an STI is like $4 grand more than that.
That's right.
And the Hawkeye doesn't have any of that stuff.
Nope.
No, I would buy the nicest Lexus GS that 10 grand will get you.
Yeah.
That's what
Which
I
is
would
a lot
buy.
of car, actually.
A bunch of car.
Yeah.
I reviewed a Lexus GS 300 like a 98, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great. Good cruiser.
Chuezi says, I have a Porsche 997 2 C4S. Should I trade up for a Cayman GT4, seeing how their prices are dropping? City canyon driving with the occasional track day.
A GT4 is a hell of a car.
It is.
That's a lot of car, man.
But their prices are not done dropping.
No, they're not. They're going to go down a little more, but it will spank your C4S in every single category.
Yeah, all-wheel drive 911s are heavy.
Yeah. Totally different car, man.
Look, I love the GT4. I'm a big fan of that. City canyon driving, I
wouldn't want to drive a Cayman GT4 in the city on like a daily.
I wouldn't either. They're stiff.
I thought you're supposed to drive the car you like in the city, Mike.
Dude, they're
you are
stiff.
supposed
I
to
thought you drive the car you like.
I have a whole bunch that I like.
See, got
a whole bunch I like.
I know,
Their gearing is really weird for the city.
Yeah.
They have that really long second gear.
That's right.
So you got to go to Sharky and get the re-gear kit for second, third, and fourth gear. I would. All right. If you're not a die-hard Porsche guy and are willing to open your mind just very slightly, I would get a Lotus Evora 400, which is a much nicer car to drive around town and in traffic than the Cayman GT4.
There you go.
And it's just as fast, if not actually possibly a little faster. Barath 4545 says, I can't.
So he's in Denmark.
He's in Denmark. So prices.
So the exchange rate is for
the price is 200 to 400% of the U.S. $30K budget.
Okay.
07 Cayman S or import what? Oh my God, I do not understand.
So is he saying he has 30 grand US, which is 120 Denmark?
Yeah,
or
I
is
think
he saying
that's what that means.
30 grand US budget to spend in Denmark.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so prices there are 400%.
Import an Audi S4 with a new engine from Germany.
Don't do that.
These are complicated questions. If someone is deciding whether or not to import a car from one place and an engine from another place, don't do that. Don't do that.
You're just opening a can of worms you're not going to like.
Yeah, I buy whatever complete car. Buy a complete car.
Buy the Cayman.
Yeah, buy the Cayman. It comes done.
I'm sorry that I'm having a real trouble understanding your comment, but
the Cayman comes from a company that, for the most part, is known for reliability, versus an Audi used S4 with a new engine from who built it, who put the engine in it, how much work did it?
Right.
There's a lot of questions that we would need answered.
Right.
Like we need way more information.
Yeah, I would say just buy a complete car and call it a day. Zach says, I bought an 09 Dodge Caliber SRT4 for my first car. Do you have any suggestions on how to deal with torque steer and mods to lessen the torque steer?
What you're going to want to do is bolt on a different car.
Yeah, that's...
Does a Caliber SRT4 have a limited slip differential?
You could probably get a Quake for it.
I believe it does, but I remember having one of those as a test car, and I was like, this is... Please don't take this the wrong way, but I don't know how to say it anyway. It's
a terrible car.
It's awful.
It's a terrible car.
But it's actually quite quick.
Yeah.
Like
so's a Neon is a terrible car, too. Does it have a limited slip?
I don't remember.
I'm
I mean,
looking
I
up
remember
if you
doing a
get quaif
double
for it.
burnout, so
you can get, if it does have a limited slip, which I can't remember, you can get a better one. You can get a quaif, or you can get a wave track or whatever. But can you see, Zach?
There's you can get conversion kits for it.
Okay.
So no.
It looks like it did not come with one.
Okay, so eliminating torque steer is just going to get a limited slip diff. And that may not even do it.
I don't think that's going to do it, but it might help it a little bit. I mean,
you can put really shitty tires on it so it just does burnout, so it doesn't torque steer.
Straight, done.
Shitty tire on one side.
Yeah, you put one good tire on the left and a bad tire on the right.
That's right.
No, yeah.
BFG radial TA on the left, and like.
I mean, a better, a coilover suspension could help. Good tires can help, but
don't put a lot of money into that.
No, don't do that.
Just don't put a lot of money into it.
But ultimately, a limited slip diff, but that's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
Ed Estrella says, is it possible to lease a certified pre-owned car? Yes. You need to go to a third-party aftermarket or a third-party leasing company. For instance, Manhattan Leasing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Manhattan Leasing will lease you any car. Like, you want to buy a fucking Lamborghini Miura on a lease? Manhattan Leasing will lease it for you, yeah. They advertise in every issue of Sports Car Market. And it's where certain of our friends who have rented out certain vehicles
have gotten their cars?
Yeah, because there's something with the taxes and the deductions on the rent. It wasn't like a shady thing, but like better, to buy a Lambo and rather than lay out the cash, whatever, they did it. So, but yes, there are third-party leasing companies that will lease you any car.
Okay.
If so, should I get an Audi S3 or a BMW 335i xDrive? I live in Utah, so all-wheel drive is nice to have.
xDrive is great. I'm not a big fan of the FX35.
He says BMW 335i.
Oh, yeah, that's a great car.
All right, I'm not a fan of any all-wheel drive BMWs.
Well, again, you're
the
not going to
rear-wheel
use
drive ones drive better.
Super performance. You know what I mean?
I just think if you have the Audi S3 is better car to drive than the 335.
I've never driven the S3. I like a lot.
S3's rule.
But
tips for dealing with car dealers? Yeah, be willing to walk away and play them against each other from a distance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Email helps so much with negotiation.
Yeah.
And
ask to speak to their internet salesman guy, the internet guy, and get quotes from them, and then bring those quotes to other dealers, and recognize that you getting 200 miles to a dealer one time to bring a car home might save you money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be willing to look far away. It might be worth a fun road trip home. I would say get the S3. But you can lease a CPO car, yes. Dragon Walk says...
He's back.
I'm replacing an FX35, parentheses, terrible, for a big SUV. For $40,000 used, do you go with an Expedition or a Suburban?
Suburban.
I need the cargo space for strollers. Probably the GM.
GM.
I'd probably go with the
Suburban
GM.
all day, every day.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with the Expedition, but those Suburbans are like on those lists of like cars most likely to make it to 200K.
Yeah.
They're on every one of them lists.
Suburban, dude.
That's a tough truck. Tough truck. R and Dumble says, change my mind. A W211 E55 AMG is a muscle car.
It absolutely is a muscle
It
car.
is. Why do I have to
The
change your
Germans
mind?
build some of the best muscle cars in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could,
100%.
if I were to make an argument against, I would say that muscle cars should be loud.
Yeah.
And it's not.
No, but you
But it
put an
can be
exhaust
with
on
the
it.
exhaust
Yeah,
on it.
you could make it loud. I
Total
think it
muscle
is.
car.
I'm not going to
Absolutely.
argue with you.
Yeah.
I think
It's more
I think you're
fragile
right.
than a muscle car, maybe, if you really needed a counterpoint, but otherwise you're correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doug Horn says, what is a car that is both fun to drive and can tackle bad roads, but relatively affordable, so no sport SUVs? The roads around me are almost undrivable. Mazda CX-5?
Yeah, those are actually very fun. Although I'm not a big fan of CVTs.
Volvo Cross Country?
Yes, that I like.
Audi Allroad?
Yeah, but are they better reliability wise? I heard they were.
Subaru
very
XV
complicated.
Crosstrek with a manual?
Crossway with a manual, yes. I'm actually getting like the Crosstrek hybrid.
Really? They make a hybrid?
They just came out with it. Yeah, I'm getting it Thursday, I think.
I'll tell you what,
Take
I've
off-road
seen like Outbacks that are like lifted on coilovers with like some Team Dynamics wheels
Yeah.
and some good tires. They look pretty rowdy.
Look at Garbo's car, dude.
Yeah, he's
Roger's
fuck. He
car.
rocks that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Lee,
I like it.
Lee
Awesome.
Keen's got an XV Crosstrek daily driver with fucking BFGs on
Yeah,
it.
dude.
Pretty.
I drove an Outback XT today with 460 horsepower.
Really? How was it?
It accelerated great, and then we went for the first turn, and it was like, oh, there's no suspension done. So it had a lot of lean to it, but I think you have a good point. An Outback is a good mix.
A slightly lifted Subaru.
Yeah.
That's what I would go with. or a Macan.
Yeah.
But relatively affordable, so no sport SUVs.
Right.
The CX-5 is the best handling of the little
Agreed.
crossovers. It's slow. Wait, did these come out with a turbo?
They're coming
This year?
out with the larger engine in that, which
They
is gonna
are,
make
right?
For which? Sorry?
The CX-5?
Yeah.
I think there's a new motor coming out for that.
There is. I want to say it's 220.
Scope that.
Is it
Or
50?
Possible Volvo XC40.
Yeah.
Volvo XC40.
That's a pretty fun car.
Kind of cool.
Pretty good-looking car.
That's a great car with a fantastic interior. Too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Volvo's new interiors are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter Mankey says, "Hey, Mike, glad to see the drive implosion didn't get you down. Like it got the rest of us down." Tall man question. 6'4", most comfortable sports car still under factory warranty.
Probably 911.
911.
Yeah.
The answer is 911.
Yeah. I hate to say the answer is mostly 911 when it comes to that.
Ergonomically?
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
100%.
Yeah.
The C63 coupes are pretty roomy.
Yeah. But
Those
I
are
mean,
fun,
They are.
man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's another muscle car. I 911, dude. That's the answer.
Yeah. Appreciate the response. Oh, that's
He was
the
the
last
guy
one?
from Australia.
Oh, that was the
Oh,
Australia.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's it.
Wow. Oh man, that's a good show. That's a good show, man.
That's fantastic.
How you doing? Huh? You good? You feeling good?
All good. I just have to prepare for my 5.5 hour drive back.
Are you driving home right now?
I think so.
I got to drive to North Hollywood right now. I'm not excited about it.
Well, that's North Hollywood.
North
30
Hollywood.
miles.
Yeah.
I go 400.
I know, but once you get past that 30,
It's
it gets
just a
okay.
hammer. I'll be
It's the
in
fir-
my house by like 9 o'clock.
It's the next. It's the 6 miles from around this office that
Yeah.
you got to worry about.
Oh, Peter Mankey said he forgot his budget is 36 grand. He was the one we said 911 to.
For what?
The
For a
comfortable
tall man car?
Tall man car.
Tall man car. Mustang.
Yeah.
They don't have that. Depends on your shape, right?
Used-
Yeah,
you
used
have a
Corvettes.
helmet and you had to lean forward.
Yeah,
a lot.
used Corvettes are good for tall people.
Yeah. Get it
For
like a used
36
Z06,
grand.
Yeah.
E92 M3s are all right for
Yeah.
tall people.
Oh yeah, because they don't have a sunroof.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
Anything
very helpful.
without a
No
sunroof.
sunroof.
Yes.
Must not have sunroof.
No Camaro of any shape or
No,
form.
no, not for tall people.
Mustang will work fine.
I remember the seats.
30
in the
grand
Mustang,
Cayman?
You know, all right.
You can actually get into
Cayman's not
Cayman.
bad.
Yeah, Caymans are not bad for 30. 36 will get you a last gen Cayman S.
Yeah.
I would fuck with that.
Yep.
There you go. That's a show.
Yeah.
I think that's a show.
Perfect.
Cool. You want to plug anything? House of Muscle?
Yeah, House of Muscle. We're actually coming out with a whole bunch of new episodes starting in February. And then we've got merchandise on the way.
Oh.
And then, yeah.
I need a House of Muscle t-shirt. You want to send me one?
Absolutely.
All right, send me one. I'll rock that shit.
Cool.
We have a partnership with Blip Shift now. Pull up the new shirt, Zach. It's on my Instagram if you want the quickie version. If you go to blipshift.com/TST or go to thesmokingtire.com and click on the store tab, our third shirt, Blip Shift is now our official merchandise partner, which is great. I like how they do business. Everyone who's ever fucking looked at car shirts has looked at Blip Shift. The new one is my Keen Project Safari 911 dashing through the snow. Actually, it's dashing
Who
through
does
the
your artwork? It's
through the
fantastic.
air. Blip Shift did this one. We basically give them ideas and they work.
roll
We
with
work
it?
with their artists. Yeah.
It's good. I like it a lot.
We did, and our last shirt, the California Dreamin' shirt, to raise money for the California
Yep.
Fire Foundation. We raised over $15,000. So we're giving all the money away. We're
Fantastic.
not keeping any of it. So that's a cool shirt. Mine. I just got the shipping notification for mine. So if you order, today is Tuesday for the live folks. If you order by Wednesday, so if you're listening to this not live, I'm sorry you will not get your shirt before Christmas. But the shirt is on sale through December 23rd. If you order it by Wednesday the 12th, you will get it in time for Christmas. That's just for the live folks. I apologize if you're not listening live. But yeah, get our new shirt. It's dope. The Blip Shift materials are really nice. The print qualities are great. And all the shirts come and go quickly, right? 2 weeks at a time. And so you got to get them while they hot, because they ain't never coming back. If you have an idea for a Smoking Tire shirt that you want to see, email me at matt@thesmokingtire.com. If you've got cars you want to drive, you want young Zach to drive in a one-take, thesmokingtire@gmail.com is the address. Zach, what do you got coming up in your one-take schedule? What'd you drive today?
Today I drove a Stage 2 Golf R that was fast and awesome. What a great overall package that thing is. I drove a strange Hyundai Elantra Sport that had an E85 tune on it, and it was actually quite fun.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, like if you're looking at Civic SIs, you could go test drive a Hyundai, and it's better inside and outside looking.
Yeah.
460 horsepower Outback makes no sense and all the sense at
Yeah.
the same time. Musto's 928, and then the Denali.
Cool.
Strange mix of stuff.
Strange mix of stuff indeed. I will have a video coming out with an update on my 911. I will have this video I'm doing with this Lexus thing, and I'm also going to Palm Springs on Thursday to drive the Lamborghini Urus.
Nice. Actually, can I throw one thing in?
Yeah.
So I'm looking for cars for the House of Muscle, and I'm looking for a couple things. I'm looking for vans, like 70s
buddy.
style vans.
You just want to fuck.
Yeah, so if you have one,
Wait,
y'all
what
need
was that?
That's House of Muscle.
The House of Muscle is actually a supplements company also? Do you know about this?
Yes. Oh, I know about that. Believe me, it is. We are. You have to remember, we are the House of Muscle, not
Not just
of
House of
Muscle.
Muscle.
Big difference. The, not just
True.
House.
We're the Smoking Tire, not Smoking Tire. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking for custom vans. I'm looking for trucks. I'm looking for. I kind of want to go a little retro. I think I
No,
kind of
you?
want some. Well, I think I'm looking for maybe something with a big ass blower sticking out of the hood.
Oh yeah, okay.
Something
Yeah.
old school like a gasser, something fun.
All right.
So yeah, you can hit me up. Honestly, just
What's
hit
the
me up.
email address? Or do you just go Instagram?
No, you could just do just do Instagram or do on my Facebook page. You can hit me up privately.
Mike_Musto at Instagram.
PM me.
All right. Thanks, folks. The Smoking Tire Podcast is powered by Shout Engine. Get your own damn podcast at shoutengine.com. It's easy. All you need is a microphone, a connection to the internet, and preferably something to say. For the live folks, we will be back tomorrow, Thursday, the 12th. No. Not tomorrow, Wednesday the 12th at 5 p.m. Pacific with Zach Mosley and Mike Priccinello from the Classic Car Club Manhattan. Join us live for that at 5 o'clock Pacific time. The rest of you, we'll see you in a couple of days. Peace out.